They haven't created too much, they haven't had their array of talent, especially in attacking areas, come alive. So if they can do that tonight, they'll certainly cause Croatia some real problems.
Yes, Vaneskis is our official from Norway. Jared Gillett, the VAR referee today from England, of course. We're about to get underway. It's quite a warm day in Toronto. Croatia have already played a game here when they won their group game earlier in the competition against Panama, a 1-0 win for them. But for Portugal, they got a lot of criticism after their opening draw against the Democratic Republic of Congo. They drew 1-1 and Ronaldo came in for a lot of criticism there, but he fired back with a brace against Uzbekistan, and then they fought out a goalless draw with Colombia that saw them safely through. Ronaldo, they stick with him. They're going to stick with him. No male player's got more appearances and more goals on international stage. Have they got to find a way to get him more involved, though?
I think they do, yeah. I think he's shown against Uzbekistan. I know we're not talking about the highest level of opposition, but he finds the right spaces if the deliveries are there, especially in and around the 18-yard box. So they're going to have to service him a lot more, and I think that's why probably Rafael Leao's been brought in. Can he service Ronaldo a little bit more with Pedro Neto's pace on the opposite side? Yeah,
and they have got so much talent available at their disposal. How do Croatia then stop Portugal? How do they go about the task tonight?
Well, I think if they can, they're going to look to try and have a lot more possession than probably Portugal would like them to have. But I think with Modric and Kovacic in central midfield, they can control that midfield area against, obviously, Neves, Vitinha and Fernandes. So I think it's going to be really intriguing inside that centre of the pitch. Will ultimately decide who wins this game.
Yeah, Portugal in their white strip with a green trim. Their goalkeeper all in bright yellow, and it's the dark blue of Croatia as they will look to get us underway here in the beautiful city of Toronto. Winner of this one will head to Dallas on Monday. They will take on the European champions Spain. Still to come tonight. Later on this morning, Switzerland take on Algeria. Mike Sewell and Perry Groves with you for that one. Then 7 o'clock, Australia take on Egypt, Adam Bridge and Scott Minto. Before we see Argentina, the world champions, take on Cape Verde. What a story they're having at the World Cup. Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce will be our team on the ground for that one. We're underway then in Toronto, and it's Croatia who will have it. It's a warm old day. It's going to be quite tough for the players, and they want to get an early feel, and it'll be interesting the pace and the dynamic of the early exchanges here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see there exactly. Portugal fly out of the blocks, pressure all the way on to Croatia's back four. Bruno Fernandes blocks the ball just on the edge of the 18-yard box, and it's a deep throw in for Croatia right near their corner flag, but that shows you the intent that Portugal are going to look to press with.
Yeah, Ivan Perisic is taking as long as he's physically allowed to take the throw in. He launches it downfield. It's just over the head of Budimir, and it's brought down on the near side by Portugal, and they'll get the ball back, and they will have it just inside their own half, and they'll play it across the back. Everyone will want an early touch here, just get a feel of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just looking to build themselves into the game. Such a massive occasion for both teams. They probably feel that they haven't performed as well as they'd liked in all the games so far. Obviously Croatia coming up against England, who found a real way of playing positively and took that 4-2 win against them, but they've certainly bounced back from that, and they've looked relatively solid since.
Yeah, they have. Here come Portugal down their right-hand side. Jack Cancelo will roll the ball down the line. He's looking to get Pedro Neto into the action, level with the edge of the penalty area. He cut back onto his left foot. Now he goes back onto his right, tries to weave his way through, but Croatia will deal with that well. Pongracic will bring the ball out, and he advances up towards halfway, and there could be a counter-attack here down the left. There was a nice run forward, but they hold on to it, and Croatia did that really well in the end.
Yeah, it was, and it was the left-sided centre-half, Pongracic, who just played some real nice balls round the corner, read and intercepted a pass along his 18-yard box, and was able to stride right up towards the halfway line, past his technical area. And now Croatia just keep the ball, settle things down again, and just looking at about how Portugal will approach it. Are they going to go all-out press to try and force them into a mistake early on?
Yeah, well, Bruno Fernandes is chasing down Livakovic. He plays it forward. It's headed out of play over on the far side, and it goes out off Nuno Mendes for a throw into Croatia. 2 minutes gone, and Croatia's starting 11, average age 30 years and 99 days. It's the oldest starting 11 for a knockout match since 1998, when Croatia had the record again. So look, we know they're an experienced bunch. This has been a real good generation, hasn't it, for Croatian football?
It's been incredible, and we're looking at one of the main protagonists in Perisic, who plays a lovely ball down the left-hand side.
Yeah, here's a chance now down the left. They'll pull it back to the edge of the box. Shot comes in, but it lacked any venom from Budimir. But it's the first effort on goal, and it was a well-worked move from Croatia. Still Portugal 0, Croatia 0.
Yeah, we're just talking about, I would say it's been the golden generation for Croatia. They've had some fantastic finishes at major tournaments. This team knows how to win and how to be successful. It's just how long can they keep that going, and this is certainly going to be an end of an era, and it's just, can they keep it going longer past this round of 32? But they've certainly got players that can ask Portugal questions, as they've just done there. If you leave Perisic on the ball, he had picked the ball just up inside Portugal's half, and he's able to just feed a lovely ball down the outside. And if you have willing runners, they'll certainly cause Portugal some problems.
Yeah, they will indeed, but it's Portugal who have the ball again. Pedro Neto wide on the right has it. You're live on TalkSport. That was some of the former Forest and Ipswich man, Luke Chambers. Ball now works its way across the back. Portugal try their look down the left. They're looking to try and get in down the left, and they will. Ball pulled back, big chance here. Great save, Fernandes on the follow-up. Shot blocked, Livakovic with a fine save. Danger not yet clear. Ball loops up edge of the area, and they still have it, and it's headed out by Perisic. Best move and brilliant from Portugal, almost led to the first goal.
Absolutely fantastic play down that far left-hand side, and it's the man who's getting his first start in a major tournament, Rafael Leao. He leaves Stanisic in his wake with his blistering pace. A lovely ball inside Stanisic, inside the fullback from Mendes at left-back, and he streams away and finds Bruno Fernandes on a cutback, and he's blocked twice with 2 strikes. Bodies on the line for Croatia.
Yeah, good save down low, Livakovic. Now Portugal build again. Flick down the line, they're looking to get in down the side with Pedro Neto, but Pongracic this time gets it away, but he's passed it straight to a white shirt again, and they're having problems clearing their lines, Croatia. I'd say this is a pretty worrying start for them.
Yeah, I think that will terrify Stanisic at right back. Will he now be able to get tight, or will he have Rafael Leao have time and space, which he's now picked up? Will he just stay in his slot because he knows he hasn't got the match of him for his blistering pace that he's shown inside this first 4 or 5 minutes?
Yeah, just trying to play a ball there through for Nuno Mendes, but that was overhit and it's behind for a goal kick. Just going back to that pass, when it's initially hit there, Luke, you'd think that he's not even favourite to get on the end of it, and then all of a sudden he's 2 yards clear.
He gives Stanisic almost 10 yards of space, but the ball from Mendes is brilliant. He just looks like he's going to play it into his feet as he stands on the touchline, then just reverses it back in between Sutalo and Stanisic at fullback, and Leao's pace is just absolutely blistering, and Fernandes is so disappointed that he's not been able to find the back of the net. A real chance for Portugal.
Yeah, they were appealing for a handball, and the referee did stop the throw being taken immediately after, so it did get checked and it was cleared, and now we've got a free kick. João Neves upended in the centre circle. Petar Sucic, who scored a lovely goal against Ghana, with the foul on this occasion.
Yeah, just trying to slow things down, I think, now Croatia. Portugal have certainly started brilliantly, and it's just interesting to see where Ronaldo was in that attack. Once Leao broke down that outside, he was just stood middle of the 6-yard box, just hoping for one of those rebounds to drop to him, but it's not been that tournament for him so far.
No, it's not, but he's still getting himself into position. Ball now played out wide on the Portuguese left-hand side, and Leao has it now, put in an early cross, and Fernandes was looking to get on the end of it. He was headed up and then punched behind by Livakovic. Took no chances, that was looping under his bar, and he punches it out for a corner.
Yeah, real interesting play again from Portugal. It's lovely play from this right-hand side, right out to the left. Lovely ball out to Leao, who's got the time and space to just stand, put it back onto his right foot and deliver a brilliant ball that looked like he was just going to beat Sutalo level with the front post, but he's able to just flick it off for a corner. Livakovic nods it away. Fernandes was just waiting to nod it home for Portugal.
Yeah, he made a great run, and the ball would have met him had it not been intercepted. Short corner now. Pedro Neto onto his right foot, puts in across to the far post. Ronaldo got up high just above him, falls on the volley, and it's hit over the top in the end. Not a great strike from João Cancelo, couldn't keep it down, but more Portuguese pressure. 7 gone, Portugal 0, Croatia 0.
Yeah, Portugal choose to take a short corner, you think has that opportunity to deliver a ball on top of Croatia. Pass them by, but Neto cuts it back onto his right foot and then just stands a lovely ball up to the back post, and we're all on the edge of our seats just thinking, is it Ronaldo's moment? He jumped higher than the crossbar, but it was just evaded him at that back post. And João Cancelo, we've seen him with quality to be able to score incredible goals from outside the area, but that certainly wasn't one.
quite have the conviction. Here now, forward go Portugal again, but Fernandes has gone without it, and now a chance for Kovacic to break the other way. He plays out a ball, he's looking to try and get Sucic in, but just overhits it level with the edge of the Portuguese box, and it goes out for a throw-in, but a lively start.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be cagey, but certainly been anything but that. Portugal have come out very, very bright, looking to play the ball forward very, very quickly, and I think that warning sign that they're willing to play those balls in behind has certainly shocked Croatia into just maybe giving them that extra space that they're probably going to need to now dominate possession.
That's a heck of a long throw down the sideline. From the edge of the penalty area, it landed on the halfway line. They're trying to work it out wide for Pedro Neto. Not cleared by Pongracic. Here now is a chance for Neto. Onto his left foot. Is he going to curl it into the far post? Keeper came, didn't get it. Nobody got a touch on it. And it goes behind. Pedro Neto's got his hands on his head. How, he said, did no one put that in the back of the net?
No, and it all starts with Ronaldo on the halfway line. Just nods it inside to Fernandes, who plays a lovely ball out to this near right-hand side. And Neto again cuts back into on his left foot and delivers a lovely floating cross that just looks like it's going to drop into the back post. And I think Ronaldo thinks Sotalo's going to head the ball clear on the 6-yard box. And Livakovic comes flying out, misses it, but Ronaldo just gets himself ahead of the ball and can't nod it home. And I think he's just sat on the ground inside that 6-yard box in shock that he hasn't got something on the end of it.
Yeah, didn't quite time his jump there. 9 minutes gone. You're live on TalkSport. Every game of the FIFA World Cup live across the TalkSport network. And the action, as I said, continues later on tonight. Australia against Egypt. Argentina, Cape Verde, as Croatia will bring it forward down there right-hand side. In fairness, they've not had a lot of the ball, but when they do get it, they are looking to get forward at every opportunity.
Yeah, they're not looking to drop off and keep possession. They're looking to move it very, very quickly so far, and I think they're going to have to take the game to Portugal, because it's not going to be long if they continue to do this, where it's going to stay at 0-0.
Well, here's a Batarina, just feeds it off. Here's Modric, still on the edge of the centre circle. Keep ball now for Croatia. Their blue shirts getting forward, but Portugal are back in good numbers. They'll look to hold their shape. Now Pongracic has it, just his side of the halfway line, and all of a sudden the pace slows down. You can see 5 white shirts across the middle of the Portuguese half trying to defend, but here comes in a cross towards Budimir, who got a header on it, but he couldn't from the penalty spot get any kind of power, and it loops behind. But once again, Budimir in front of goal gets the effort away. Still 0-0.
Yeah, just another warning sign for Portugal that they're not going to have it all their own way. But credit to Croatia, when they do settle in possession, Portugal are playing really high with that front four of Leao, Fernandes, Neto and Ronaldo. But once they've played the ball past those 4, Croatia have a lot more space to create 1v1s, overloads, because they're certainly not retreating back into 2 banks of 4 as Croatia are now, as we watch Portugal build their possession.
Yeah, met 10 times before. First time they've ever met in the World Cup. Here's Rafael Leao, he gets it forward again. They've turned over possession, but only on the back of a foul, and Croatia surround the referee. They're not happy that was given as a free kick, about 25-30 yards out from their goal.
It'll just be interesting to see whether this was a foul. It looked like Mendes got his left ankle taken away from him. I think it was Kovacic who steps in. Yeah, it's certainly a foul. The Croatian players are complaining to the referee, but he comes in and tries to poke the ball away with his right foot, catches the top of Mendes' foot, and now who would bet against Ronaldo standing over this free kick from 35 yards out?
Yeah, well, there he is, hands on hips, ready. Livakovic should be hoping that this is not going to be on target, but Ronaldo waits, hands on hips. Nobody has scored more international goals in the men's game than this fella, and it might be his swan song. We heard Alex Crook saying earlier on, reports suggest it will be his last game if they lose here. I do wonder, it just feels like a guy that's never going to retire, but can he produce a bit of magic? Just rolls his neck. There's a couple of other white shirts there, although one of them has just removed himself. João Neves, the wall, 4-man wall, and the draft excluder all in there, trying to keep it out. But what do you think here? Is he going to go high, low? Let's find out. Here he comes, Ronaldo, from 30 yards out into the wall. What an anti-climax that was.
Yeah, but someone's taken one right in the lower abdomen. I think it's Pongracic, who's been involved for Croatia so far, and he took one very bravely, shall I say.
Well, That was a bullseye, I think. I think we'll give him that. And he's done well. I mean, he's no man wants to be in that position, and he's the unfortunate one. And we all feel his pain. It's 0-0 at the World Cup. Ronaldo will be disappointed with a hit, but the wall, as you said, did its job. And Pongracic is up. He's ready to go. He's now marking Bruno Fernandes, who's made a really good start here in Toronto. And the ball out on that left-hand side with Portugal. Lively start, though. Nearly 13 gone 0-0.
Yeah, it's been a real bright start from Portugal. Just can they capitalise on it?
They've got the ball on halfway, and Croatia have dropped off in their almost a 4-4-2 formation. But here we go again. I call it a foot race, but it's not a race, is it? It's a complete mismatch. Rafael Leao down that left-hand side just wandered past Stanisic, but Croatia keep it in, and they'll get a free kick. Perisic was fouled right over on the far side, but this now already is becoming a problem. Now, what does Zlatko Dalic change things? Because Stanisic is getting torn apart, isn't he? Well,
I think they've got to stop the supply for Rafael Leao to begin with. I think he's probably got to drop Vlasic in just to give Stanisic some cover, maybe allow him to not get so tight. But they've certainly got to try and stop that supply, because every time he picks it up, he's just drifting past Stanisic in that right-back area. But the question is for Rafael Leao, can he improve his final ball and his delivery? Because he's overhit a couple of crosses now where he needs to do a little bit better.
Budimir beaten in the air, and now the ball works its way forward, but Croatia have won it back, and they're looking to break down there. Left with Bantarina now. Defenders coming across to cover him. He's waiting for blue shirts to arrive. Perisic is there with him. So right in front of Roberto Martinez, who, well, it will be his last game. He's out of contract at the end of this one. Modric plays a ball over the top. He was looking down that far side, and the run was made, but just overhit slightly. 14 gone, Portugal 0, Croatia 0, live on TalkSport.
Croatia just taking that little bit more of a breath now. They played with intensity early on, but when they do get the ball back, which has been few and far between in this first 15 minutes, they've just started to slow things down, use it, recycle it through Kovacic, through Modric in midfield, and Modric just opens up with that bit of time and tries to find Vlasic on that far right-hand side. He just sort of curves the ball towards the corner flag, and it drifts out for a goal kick. But certainly looking to impose a little bit more possession when they do get hold of it.
Yeah, Vlasic, who hit the woodwork and scored against Ghana. Pedro Neto looking to get on the end of a long ball, and Pongracic has got his header wrong there, and it's come off his head and skimmed behind for a corner.
For all good Portugal play and possession base, it's just one easy ball down the side from Ruben Diaz, almost the channel ball. Pongracic just completely gets it wrong and flicks it out for a corner, so it caused a couple of problems early on. Can they do it again? Mendes' delivery, if he puts it straight in the box from this corner, it gives them a real good chance. They've got some threats in the air, Portugal.
Yeah, certainly have. Keeper's just shielding his eyes from the sun. It's going to be whipped in, left-footed by Mendes. Delivers it towards the far post, and a bullet header put over the top by Portugal. Well, that was met on the full, and that was a chance. Vega it was who had it. He's bullet-headed it, but it's straight over the top behind for a goal kick.
And he's running back to the halfway line. It's the centre-half, Vega, and it's an absolute glorious chance. Croatia, 3 players just standing on the 6-yard line, and the ball's whipped in, and he's got the freedom of 6 yards around him, and he's just headed it over the crossbar, and his head's in his hands on the floor, and like I say, he's looking up to the sky, running back to his position on the halfway line. What a chance for Portugal.
Well, here is an early yellow card, and that is going to go the way of Ruben Diaz, who's been shown a yellow card here, and well, it's for an arm into the face of Budimir. And we've just seen a replay of that. I mean, he does raise his arm and he doesn't miss Budimir, does he?
Well, we've seen a few questionable decisions, haven't we, over the last 24 hours in terms of red cards and coming together as a player. And if the replays that we've just seen, it's just from a simple goal kick. Ruben Diaz is just inside his own half, over the halfway line, straight down the middle of the pitch, and Budimir comes to get involved, and his left forearm just crashes off his chin. And the yellow card is dished out.
Yeah. So the first of the match, and now Croatia, lovely bit of skill. Now they're going to get a free kick. That was really good work from Perisic, who looks to be going down a blind alley there, but a lovely little flick took him past Renato Vega, and Vega brings him down.
Incredible bit of skill. Sucic is just down now, but there's also a double touch on the side of the 18-yard box on the touchline, and Vega gets way too tight. But for all Portugal's dominance, Croatia have an opportunity to put the ball on in the box, level the 18-yard box. Right-hand side, Modric is on the ball. What a chance for them to get themselves ahead.
Yeah, just the one-man wall in front of him. Looking at his targets, the sweat on his brow. Over 200 appearances for his country. What a servant he's been to Croatian football. Going to whip the ball in now towards the 6-yard box, headed away by Nuno Mendes. Like the real threat there, the cross and the break on potentially before it's hammered out by Stanisic for a throw in just short of the halfway line of Portugal. Still 0-0. Quite the width maybe on the cross you would have hoped for there from Modric. Didn't cause too many problems.
No, you've got to beat that first man, haven't you? It's the one that just annoys all centre-halves that run up there from the halfway line, and you hit that first man. Mendes did well, the Portuguese left back, just to head it away.
And from Portugal again, there is Ruben Diaz, the Manchester City man, who's on a booking, so he's going to have to be careful for the remaining 70-odd minutes of this match. Still goalless here, but Portugal have made a bright start. They've had a couple of chances. Now trying to turn there was Mendes. He went without it. Croatia have conceded a throw-in that they wanted to take quickly, and they will take quickly here, and they'll recycle possession on halfway, and they're just starting again to enjoy a bit more of the ball higher up the field.
I'm just looking at that battle on that far left-hand side with how Croatia are handling Rafael Leao, and Vlasic has almost dropped into a back five now on that far right-hand side. He's just doubling up with Stanisic on that far side, so he's got that help that we spoke about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, Zlatko Dalic making amendments on the run for Croatia. Runners up in third in their last 2 World Cup campaigns. Now they'll bring it forward with Vega. Gets it away to Ruben Diaz, and they're all sat back, Croatia here, waiting. As now the ball works its way to João Cancelo. He'll cut in field. Nowhere to go. Croatia just showing their discipline at the minute. They're holding their shape. Now comes the question, but it's overhit. They were looking for Rafael Leao, but they couldn't find him. And Croatia in the end defend that passage of play pretty well. Yeah,
credit to Croatia. They have tweaked the system a little bit. They've gone into a back five with just Modric and Kovacic sat in front of them. Perisic almost playing as a left wing back. Vlasic dropping in the right-hand side, and now when they're in possession, just reverting back into that 4-2-3-1. So definitely changes have been made to try and stop that flow of traffic on that far left-hand side with Rafael Leao.
Yeah, he's got the ball down. He's got 2 blue shirts around him, but does well to hold on to possession. Portugal have it on halfway. They had that early chance. Bruno Fernandes shot well saved by Livakovic. At the other end, Budimir's had a couple of efforts, hasn't found the target. Perisic, a good bit of defending, denies Pedro Neto the ball, and it's out for a throw in near side. But I just feel the weight of pressure is going Portugal's way at the moment.
It is, but I think Croatia have just got them where they want them at the minute. A few tweaks, they're controlling where Portugal are now looking to play the ball.
With Ronaldo pops up on the left-hand side. He's barely had a kick so far. Here now, João Neves, one of the 2 changes for Roberto Martinez. Here's Pedro Neto. Approaches the right side of the penalty area. He's got support with him. He'll use that support. Cancelo has it. He'll look to work the ball in left-footed. It bounces off Modric's knees. Can he keep it in? Did he just let that roll out? No, he didn't. The assistant on the near side had a good view of it. Portugal get it back on the centre circle. Vega finds Mendes. Exchanges passes with Bruno Fernandes. She gets it. And they're playing keep ball. They're trying to push Croatia back. But Croatia at the moment happy just to stand off and let Portugal have the ball wide on their right-hand side. Pedro Neto again onto his left foot. Had the chance to cross it. Instead he'll square it back. Diaz will move it wide over on the left-hand side now. Here's Leao. Edge of the penalty area. That's a good bit of work. Really good defending there. That was better from Croatia. Now they're looking for a way out, and the pass from Vlasic doesn't find its target. They get it back, but that was much better dealt with, well dealt with there. Leao, no chance to get past Vlasic. Yeah,
it's the 2v1 that Croatia now have in Vlasic and Stanisic at that right-hand side, with almost a full-back and a wing-back playing against him, and they're just stemming that flow. But what Croatia are doing, they've got 11 men 30 yards from their own goal when Portugal have possession, and it's just not giving Portugal any space.
No, well, they're going to get another chance here, 25 yards out, over on the far side. Ronaldo comes, gives the ball away to Vitinha. Cross comes into the penalty area, and it's a great header defensively from Pongracic, who's diving towards his own goal in the 6-yard box, and he diverts it wide for a corner.
That's the one. You're looking at Ronaldo. Where is he? He's on 30 yards from goal, trying to get the ball to feet, but the ball's brilliant from Mendes. It just drifts away from goal, but along the 6-yard box, and Pongracic is facing his own goal. It looks like if he gets anything on it, it's going to be an own goal, but he manages to divert it with his head round the far post and out for a Portugal corner.
Well, Renato Veiga got a good header on the last corner that was whipped in for Portugal. He's up there again. Here's Nuno Mendes looking to swing in another one towards a 6-yard box, and it comes off a late arriving player, and in the end goes behind quite harmlessly there. And we will have the hydration break for the first time in Toronto. It's Portugal 0, Croatia 0. Been pretty much all Portugal, but there have been chances for Croatia. Budimir with a shot that was comfortably saved by Diogo Costa, and then a header they put over the top. But at the other end, we saw Bruno Fernandes have a lovely shot after great work from Leal down the left. Livakovic made a good save. There were plenty of bodies blocking, and then Veiga with that header powered it over the top. But Portugal playing some good stuff, but yet to make the breakthrough. Yeah, you would say Portugal have been the better team and have had the better chances so far, but both teams have had those chances. Yes, Croatia haven't particularly had loads of possession, haven't really dominated in any aspect, but when they've had that little bit of time and space, they've been able to ask Portugal questions. But credit to Portugal, they've come out and played a lot better, a lot more positive than they have done in the opening 2 of their 3 group games, and they certainly look like the team that is going to go on and take the game by the scruff of the neck. But now is an opportunity, as we have seen throughout the tournament. These hydration breaks have been massive for some teams, and the way they're playing and how they're approaching games, so there'll certainly be some tweaks from both sides. Yeah, Zlatko Dalic looks quite calm, doesn't he? He's just quite relaxed talking to his players. Roberto Martinez got the tactics board out. He looks quite animated. He's talking to Ruben Neves amongst others down there. What will he have made of this opening 25 minutes, and maybe what is he looking to tweak? Well, I think he'll be pleased, but it's interesting that he's talking to Vitinha and Ruben Diaz, obviously 2 players that are going to play playing a little bit deeper. It's about, are we now going to continue to force it down that left-hand side where Croatia have added extra bodies to stop Rafael Leal picking up the ball and having the freedom of that left channel? And are they now going to work it to the near side in Pedro Neto? But Croatia have certainly changed into that back 5 relatively quickly, which has stopped that flow of traffic and pressure that was building for Portugal. But it's just with the deliveries and the quality that Portugal do have, and not just Rafael Leal. You've got Mendes from the left-hand side, Neto from the right, you've got Cancelo can deliver the ball into the box. Ronaldo has to be inside that 18-yard box, because there's been a couple of deliveries where you would have thought he could have got on the end of. Yeah, certainly that is the case. Luke Chambers, former Ipswich and Nottingham Forest man, with us tonight on TalkSport. Later on tonight, Australia take on Egypt. Adam Bridge and Scott Minto take you through that 7 o'clock start on TalkSport, followed by Argentina, the world champions, take on the fairy tale that is Cape Verde. Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot, Stuart Pearce of our team on the ground for that one. Reminder, earlier on last night, Spain 3-0 winners over Austria. Yazabal with a couple of goals, Pedro Porro with his first goal for Spain at a World Cup. The European champions yet to concede, beat Austria by 3-0. They are through, and they await in Dallas on Monday night. It will be Spain against either Portugal or Croatia. Monday morning, early hours, 1 a.m, Mexico, England will be live on TalkSport with Adrian, Jim and Stuart, our regular England team. We're about to get underway then. The hydration break is over. The players are making their way out onto the field. Remains goalless here, and well, maybe it's not quite been as cagey as I thought it might have been. Both teams are certainly trying to attack and get forward. We're still waiting that first really good chance. Yeah, it would just be interesting to see how both teams come out, and if Croatia are happy to continue doing what they're doing and soaking up the pressure and trying to hit Portugal on the break. Well, they are looking to hit them on the break, and they're doing exactly that now. Sucic just overran it, went down, wanted a free kick, didn't get one. It'll break edge of the box. Check for the shot on here. It's deflected. It was Baturina. Ball works its way to Perisic. Left-hand side of the box. Cross deflected and then cleared away. Pongracic will get it on halfway. He'll go all the way back to his keeper. Well, that a really good chance there. Really good passage of play. And we saw Sucic strike from the edge of the box against Ghana. Maybe just dwelt on that one too long.
Yeah, I think in the end he's tried to hit it through too many bodies and Portugal snuff out the danger.
Here come Croatia down there, right-hand side. Have it over on the far side with Vlasic. His header wrapped up the points against Ghana and set up this tie with Portugal, their first ever World Cup meeting. Not got a good record, Croatia. They've only won 1 of the 10 meetings. That wasn't a competitive match, so yet to beat Portugal in competitive football. And that's something they'll be hoping to put right here. And they've made a good start after the hydration break. They have it on halfway.
I think the difference is for Croatia when they do attack. Portugal are always on that front foot. They're always trying to edge up the pitch. But when they do break through the lines, like I said earlier, they're having a lot more space and time and they're finding 1v1s. And if you do drop your runner in those circumstances, it's very difficult to recover.
Pongracic has it. He's looking for a long ball forward. He might have found a player over on the right-hand side. In down that right-hand side come Croatia here. Oh, the flag has gone up really late there. Croatia not happy with that, but there was a belated offside flag on the far side. It was Vlasic who got on the end of the long Pongracic ball forward. It's just gone about half a yard too soon.
It looks very close, but that's the one I'm talking about. Croatia have 4 men on the top line against Portugal's back 4, so if you do get wrong-footed, you certainly are in a straight foot race to try and recover and get bodies behind the ball, whereas Croatia on the flip side are outnumbering Portugal when they're defending every single time. So I think they're the things that Portugal just have to be careful of. If they do lose possession, the turnover, and man for man, regardless of how good and strong and quick you are, you're going to be asked questions, especially with these willing runners, like I said, from Croatia.
Again, Ronaldo has come deep to get the ball, and that's a lovely crossfield ball. Finds João Cancelo. Can he put a cross in? He does. Lovely ball in, and there was Ronaldo diving in, but couldn't get a touch on it, anything on that. And surely it would have been the opening goal. He's made up a lot of ground to get on the end of that cross, but he couldn't turn it in. Still 0-0.
Well, we said about the quality of Mendes' left foot. He just hit a 70-yard diagonal pass down the near side to João Cancelo, who's the opposite fullback. He does brilliantly, draws in 2 players, cuts it back onto his left foot, and again a real great delivery towards that far post. It evades Fernandes near the near post and just drifts towards the back post. You just think Ronaldo's going to get across. Sotalo to head it in, he just can't get any contact on the ball, and he just looks up to the sky as he is on his haunches. And what a chance again for him to get the opening goal.
Yeah, he's done so well to get there. He made up a lot of ground, but he was a split second with his reaction just to turn it in, as Leao now looks to head off down the touchline, and he's stopped in his tracks. And Vlasic is not happy. He thought he'd want to throw in for Croatia. Referee disagrees, and it's a throw-in with 30 minutes on the clock, still 0-0.
Like you say, you mentioned sort of 20-30 seconds before that Ronaldo's coming short into midfield, but credit to him, as that ball was switched out to the opposite side, he made a beeline towards that back post, and he must be millimetres away from getting on the end of that João Cancelo cross.
Yeah, it was a great ball in, and it goes begging, and it remains 0-0 in Toronto. Ball now being brought forward by João Neves. He finds Vega, who works it out wide to Mendes. He finds Leao. Leao will have it, rolls it back, and again Croatia are back in their shape, looking to hold and just keep Portugal at bay for now. Here's Neto, always looking to get onto that left foot, just rolls off the pass, and Diaz will keep it on halfway. And again, Croatia happy, they're disciplined, they know their job, they're not frightened to not have the ball. They're quite happy to let Portugal have it at times.
Yeah, they are, and there's all different positions that Portugal are now picking up. João Neves, the central midfield player, is playing off as a right back. Vitinha now has the ball as a centre back. So there's rotations all over the place at the minute, and that's probably what Martinez has asked them to do.
Yeah, ball given away though. What can Modric do with it? He'll keep hold of it. Finds Perisic on the near side. He rolls it down the touchline, but just rolls it into space, and it's picked up by Vitinha. Portugal will have it again, and they'll come forward again. It's tough at times for Croatia. They've been good at times, but when they get it wrong, they're literally just giving the ball straight back, and it's just adding to the weight of pressure they're facing.
But they're just dropping into 2 banks of 4 now, and at times into a back 5, but they're just trying to outnumber everything that Portugal throw at them.
A beautiful run from Nuno Mendes, looked like he'd been dispossessed. Now Leao has it. He's looking up, he's got Bruno Fernandes and Ronaldo waiting in the middle. The cross doesn't come. Here's Ruben Diaz. Looks now to put in a diagonal ball. Bruno Fernandes hooks it back towards the edge of the penalty area. Needs to be brought down and controlled, and it is brought down by Nuno Mendes. Feeds it wide on the left. Drilled across goal. Livakovic palms it away. Cross comes in and it's turned behind. It was panic stations at the back for Croatia, but they keep it out. It's still 0-0.
It's a lovely bit of play again from Portugal. The ball comes back to Ruben Diaz. It's about 40 yards from goal. He just drifts one over the top to Fernandes, who keeps it alive. It then comes back to him. He looks to deliver a left foot cross along the 6-yard box. It gets a deflection. It comes off Livakovic, who just puts it straight back into Fernandes. And he looks like the cutback's going to be rolled straight into Ronaldo's path, just on the penalty spot. But it's just cut out.
Certainly is. Leao is going to look to deliver the corner from the far side. There are 5 white shirts all near post here. They've played it short again. They'll work it now towards the edge of the box. Are they going to shoot from distance? They might now. Lovely bit of footwork. Shot comes in from Mendes and it hits a wall of defenders, and now the break possibly on here. There's only one forward, and well, they wanted a free kick. Martin Baturina thought he was tackled from behind there. He was a sole Croatian over halfway. He was appended, and Portugal have it, and they play on forward. That's a silly foul there from Vlasic, who's just bundled into the back of Vitinha, and that a frustrating foul to give away.
And we're just looking at Roberto Martinez rushing towards the edge of his technical area, because his Portugal side almost cost themselves a real dangerous break, because Croatia break with Vacherina, and credit to Pedro Neto, the right winger. He strides back and wins the ball back, but that was the one where if you commit too many bodies forward, he nearly got caught on that break by Croatia.
Yeah, I guess the one thing they partially gambled on, the lack of out-and-out pace for Croatia. They've not quite got that blistering pace, have they, that maybe would expose that fault a little bit more.
Yeah, but credit to the Portuguese, they're all buying into it. Pedro Neto, probably the least person you'd expect it. He's ran 40-50 yards to win the ball back, so his team can again regain possession and start to build.
Yeah, 10 to go to the break, 0-0, live on TalkSport. Luke Chambers with us, former Forest and Ipswich man. As here's Kovacic, and a rare little passage of play in their own half, and Kovacic has worked it nicely, and now he's driving over halfway, and now he looked to play a ball, and there were 3-on-2 in the middle, but he dissected 2 of the blue shirts and gave it straight to the covering Nuno Mendes, and that a really good bit of play there from Croatia that almost led to a break. And now Portugal coming back the other way, but that was more likely, and had that Kovacic pass found its man, there would have been danger there.
Well, it should have really found its man, because it was almost a 3v1, and he's put his hands in the air, because he played a lovely outside of the foot right-footed pass across the pitch, and all 3 Croatia strikers ran the opposite way. It just needed one of them to take charge of the situation. They're almost going to then end up in a 3v1, almost a 3v2 situation.
More than halfway, Portugal have it. They've had over 58% of the ball so far, but yet to break the deadlock. Although Livakovic has had a couple of tricky moments to deal with. He's dealt with them well so far for Croatia, but it's Portugal coming forward again, dominating the ball. Here now is Diaz, closed down well by Baturina. Croatia doing a good job here from the front, trying to press. Can Portugal play through that? They'll get it to Ronaldo, 30 yards up from goal, lays it back to Bruno Fernandes. He goes down, and I'll tell you what, given what we've seen so far, I'm not too sure that was a free kick, but the referee's given it against Sucic, and he's not happy at all.
No, I don't think any of the Croatia players are happy, but does Fernandes get the wrong side of him, and Sucic just steps into him, knee into the back of his left knee. He does well to use his body, Fernandes. That's a lot of experience that he's showing there, and he's not happy with Sucic. He's complaining as he sits on the floor, giving him a little bit. But credit to Croatia, every time there's a ball within 40-50 yards of goal, there's 3 or 4 players around 2 of Croatia's.
Well, there's Cancelo, whips in a ball, and Livakovic does well, down low. Hang on, he stood up very awkwardly there. I thought for a second he might have tweaked something, but he's up quickly. balls it out, we play on, and Croatia have it inside their own half. 8 to go to the break. We'll have at least 3 added on minutes as here's a run. Vlasic trying to get in behind, and he did almost get in there, but it was the pace of Mendes that covers and gets the ball away from him. But that's not the first time they've tried that avenue, getting Nikola Vlasic over the top. Portugal working it forward again. Feels like a game of cat and mouse at the moment. Portugal are toying with Croatia, but Croatia are looking like at any moment they could break out and do some damage at the other end. Finely poised tie here. Winner will play Spain on Monday night in Dallas for a place in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. Mendes lays it back on halfway. And again, Croatia, they are starting to push a few bodies further forward. Almost signs they're getting a little bit braver now in where they're pressing the ball. Well, I think the real out-and-out pace is Rafael Leao, and once they've really boxed that off with Vlasic and Stanisic, they're not really having any joy from that position. They know Ronaldo's not going to run in behind straight through the middle, so I think they can afford to do exactly what they're doing, start to squeeze the game a little bit more, put a bit more pressure on Portugal around the halfway line. Here's Pedro Neto, heads off down the right touchline, midway inside the Croatian half, cuts back in onto his left foot again, but opts not to cross, plays it to Vitinha. He now finds Nuno Mendes. He just waits, just stands there, waiting for things to open up in front of him. He'll get the ball away, and now it's brought forward. Given back to Ruben Diaz. He gets it away on the near side. João Cancelo goes back, and they're back inside their own half. Portugal here, Croatia at the moment. So far, so good. Ball over the top, was looking for Bruno Fernandes, and it's headed behind there by Stanisic. He won the header but couldn't control it, and it's a corner for Portugal. And for all Portugal's possession and working from left to right, the 3 or 4 opportunities now have just come from straight diagonal balls over the top, asking Croatia questions, and they haven't had the answers of those at the minute. Another ball headed out for a corner from their own man. Yeah. Likovic waits. He's got 8 blue shirts immediately in front of him, almost like a semicircle protecting him. And here come the white shirts of Portugal. Nobody in the 6-yard box yet for Portugal. There are 4 waiting on the edge. Ronaldo, one of those. Now the delivery is in towards the far post, and it was flicked away. They had a body free at the far post, and it's out for another corner kick. The interesting approach now, because obviously Croatia has a marking zonal. They've got 4 players along that 6-yard box, all blue shirts, no one near them, but then Portugal go and stand on top of them. But what they're looking for is João Neves round that back post. It's twice now they took 2 corners from either side. João Neves just trying to ghost in round that back post. Play it short again. Ball going to be squared to the edge of the box. Here's Fernandes. He pops it off now, looking for Cancelo. He'll lay it back now for Nuno Mendes. Puts the cross in. There was a Portugal player unmarked to the far post, but Croatia stopped it getting that far. And now Stanisic will look to clear his lines and earns a throw-in with 5 to go to the break, plus any added on time. I'm still questioning myself what Portugal are doing from that set piece. They've done 2 or 3 of them now, worked it all the way across, pass from right to left, but it looks like they're going to do a set-piece routine, but nothing comes of it, and they just deliver a ball to sort of where no one else is. So real baffling one from Portugal. Yeah, still 0-0. Chambers with us on Talk Sport tonight. Ball now with Pongracic, who's dribbling his way through his own penalty area, squares it off on the far side, and now they'll work one up towards halfway. That's a nice pass, well taken down, and now the break is on, and maybe needed a ball quicker forward. Now they'll play it, looking to get in behind. It'll break here. Now there's a real good chance for Croatia. Baturina has it. Can he find a player out wide? He'll find Vlasic. Vlasic works it out to Perisic, level with the edge of the penalty area, left-hand side, onto his right foot, turned away from goal. It's really good defending. Ball won back though, and Perisic is going to keep it in. Back heels it back to Kovacic. And here's Modric, not seen a lot of him. Croatia not had a lot of ball over halfway. Now a nice little run. Was that a foul on the edge of the box? No, it wasn't. Croatia not happy again. And now the break could be on going the other way. Ronaldo leaves it to the quicker man in Leao, and he has it over halfway. Game just opened up once again. Croatia, when they got forward, and I think there's a player down in the other half, hence why the fans are booing here, but Portugal are playing on. It's not head knock. They don't have to knock the ball out. Well, they've certainly slowed the tempo down. There was a really good chance on the break there, wasn't there, for Croatia, and they're getting more bodies further forward. They're looking more likely. They just need to find that final pass.
They're definitely playing with a lot more belief. I think they've realised that they've stopped that threat of pace down that left-hand side, and they really are comfortable in every aspect of their defending at the moment.
Here's Leao, of course, problems earlier on. They've worked on the run to keep him quieter. And he lays it back to halfway. Will the deadlock be broken before the break? Portugal come forward again. Ronaldo with a flick round the corner, was looking for Fernandes. He tried to flick it in. He's dispossessed. And Baturina bowled over. Play on, says the referee. And driving forward now goes Kovacic. He's got 4 teammates waiting with him. One on the edge of the box, lays it out wide to Baturina. Force wide. There are 2-3 blue shirts waiting in the middle for the cross that's blocked at the near post. Headed away. And now it'll be brought forward by Pedro Neto. And now the break could be on. Neto. Pongracic goes to close him down, gets a good foot in. And the immediate danger broken. But Croatia, as they get braver, they're just leaving a few gaps for Portugal to break into.
And it's an interesting one. I know we keep talking about it. You're watching it. Ronaldo, OK, he's trying to stretch the game. But now Rafael Leao, every time he's picking it up, it's almost inside his own half. He's playing a lot deeper. He's not high and wide. He's not really injecting any pace into the game. He's had a couple of opportunities where he's picked the ball up and he could drive with it, but they've chose to now keep possession. Whether that's the heat, the intensity, whether that's him not starting as much as he'd like, whether he's up to speed of playing a solid 45 minutes. But it's an interesting one where they could have really broke on Croatia, because they're now getting a bit braver, trying to force more bodies forward.
Yeah, well, the ball works towards Bruno Fernandes. He can't control it. It's all the way to Livakovic, who has it. We've got 60 seconds of the 45 remaining, and Zlatko Dalic is up. Just looking on, he'll be pretty pleased. He certainly looks more relaxed than Roberto Martinez. Could be his last game as Portugal boss. If they get knocked out here, his contract is up. Rumoured to be possibly going to Saudi Arabia. As now forward goes Vitinha. Can he find a pass? He was looking for Ronaldo. It was stopped before it reached him. Picked up in midfield, and forward come Portugal again. Time running out, end of the first half. We'll have at least the 3. Not really had any of the stoppages, have we, other than that, I don't think. So should be too much longer to be added on. And here's Ruben Diaz, who got booked for that elbow on Budimir earlier in the game. And now it's Pedro Neto. He does seem to prefer cutting in on his left foot, and again, Croatia quite happy with that. Send him right, you can cut inside if you want, because you know you're just going to lay the ball off. And here's Leao. He's looking to get a run. Stanisic is back defending. Here comes Vlasic to help him out. Ball is laid back, and it's picked off by Croatia. And I thought that could have been a foul. The referee has belatedly blown his whistle there. There was a bit of a poor tackle went in from Sucic. We're in the 4 added on minutes. Portugal 0, Croatia 0. Who do you think will be the happiest at half-time if they go in at 0-0?
I think Roberto Martinez would be very, very happy with Portugal's opening 25 minutes. But since then, I think Croatia have really handled anything that Portugal have had to throw at them. They're certainly, like you said, stepping on to pressure and trying to get more bodies up the pitch. But I think Croatia really, Dalic, I think his side will get stronger as the game draws on.
Well, can they hang on to half-time? Because here now is Neto, puts in a curling ball to the far post, headed away, a fall on the volley, and there's Leao, who balloons over the volley. Never looked convincing, sliced underneath it, and it balloons over for a goal kick, still 0-0.
And it is a big, big chance, and it's again this near right-hand side. Neto cuts back onto his left, lovely ball, level with the back post. And Stanisic needs to head the ball away, out to safety, out for a corner, but he heads it back into the danger zone. And Leao, who's just hung out the back post, comes in and tries the spectacular on the volley. He just can't get over it with his technique, and it goes blazing high over the crossbar.
Perisic looking for a long ball forward. Budimir will give chase here, and he's done well to make Ruben Diaz bring it, and then I say he's done well, he just barged him over. And that's a free kick, as cheap as they'll come. Thought, well, I'm here about as well now.
Well, they're those free ones that centre forwards give to us horrible centre halves, because they get away with them.
Well, take what's on offer. 2 of the 4 gone in added on time. Still 0-0 here Ball played forward, and in the end it's well left by Baturina on the near side. It rolls out for a throw-in. Croatia digging in. They're in it for the long haul, it seems. Portugal trying to get it done in the 90 minutes, but they're having to work hard, and Livakovic has had a couple of saves to make, but really only that one from Fernandes that's been anything other than normal, really. He's been pretty routine, hasn't he? Now a free kick given away. This time it's Budimir who gets a shove from Ruben Diaz, and with 90 seconds left, how brave are Croatia going to be here? You'd imagine they're going to throw some bodies forward. Yeah,
they've got a chance to put one on top of Portugal and ask them some questions, but it's been a real interesting battle between Diaz and Budimir, the centre forward for Croatia. They've come together on multiple occasions. Like you said, Diaz has got that yellow card from giving him an interesting challenge early on.
Yeah, well, he done the elbow out, didn't he? I think the one thing you'd say to save him, there was no real malice in it, but he did stick him elbow into his chops, and that was a booking. And since then it's been a bit more pushing and pulling rather than any direct contact between the two. Here come Croatia then. They opted not to put it into the box. They're going to get another chance here. Just about 8-9 yards over halfway, over on that far right hand side. Well, they have the chance if they want to put it forward, but they're going to play it short. And here's a bit of space here now for Sucic, trying to play it forward. They were looking to be incisive with the pass. It didn't quite come off. Here now is Kovacic. Just stands and waits, finds Modric to his right-hand side. Modric back to Kovacic. And they're going backwards at the moment. Can they find a meaningful pass forward? Time is running out. Last 10 seconds of the 4 added on minutes about to elapse. And Croatia just happy to play keep ball at the moment. Can they find one pass to unlock the defence? Modric plays it down for Perisic, who's a willing runner. But Pedro Neto got first run on him, and he'll deal with the ball, and that will be half-time in Toronto. An eventful game. Portugal had an early chance. Good work from Rafael Leao. Made a blistering start down the left. He pulled it back. Bruno Fernandes' shot was well saved by Livakovic, and his follow-up blocked by a flurry of Croatian defenders. Then from a corner, Renato Vega, unmarked 6 yards out, planted his header over the bar. The other end, Anthony Budimir, he played a shot from the edge of the area, well saved by Diogo Costa, and then headed well over the top. There have been chances on the break for Croatia. They can't find the key to unlock it. Portugal with all the possession, but no goals to show for it. Half-time in Toronto. It's Portugal 0, Croatia 0.
Mark Wilson, thank you very much indeed. Goalless so far then, but very entertaining. Luke Chambers, Portugal, in that first 25 minutes, they were knocking on the door, weren't they? And I think they'll be amazed they're not ahead.
I think they will, Ollie, yeah. I think they started very, very brightly, and I think we'd said before kick-off that Portugal hadn't really hit their stride, but they certainly did in that opening 25. Rafael Leao on that far left-hand side had the beating of Stanisic in every single aspect, and since then Croatia have doubled up in that area and really nullified that threat. But we talk about Ronaldo, we always do. He's had a real couple of chances where he could have been on the end. He could easily be going in at half-time with 2 goals. He just misjudged the flight of a couple of them, and it remains 0-0.
Yeah, and on Croatia, you referenced it in commentary. You feel that the longer they can stay in this game, the more belief that they will have that they can cause a few more issues for Portugal.
Yeah, definitely. I think they've grown into the game, definitely. I think Portugal, like we said, started brightly, but as the game's worn on, they've had the answers to the questions that Portugal have asked them, and they are growing in confidence. They're getting more players further up the pitch to put pressure on Portugal, not allowing any space for the white shirts of Portugal, and they're dealing with those threats, like you say, since the hydration break again. It's had a big change in it, and they've come into the game, and they certainly, I think, will continue to do that.
With Ronaldo, as much as we could criticise him for missing those chances, is it also a case that at least he's getting into those areas? What have you made of his performance overall?
I don't think there's anything that we can criticise from him tonight so far. Yes, maybe a misjudge, but he's absolutely given it everything on the second occasion where the ball, and it's something that Portugal have tried to do, cutting back onto the opposite foot and delivering balls towards the back post, and he's almost remained 50 yards up at full sprint to get towards that back post, and the ball shouldn't really find him, but it does. Bruno Fernandes misses it at the front post, and he just can't get his head down to nod it into that far corner, and he's putting absolutely everything into it. He's dropping in, he's linking play, he's trying to get into the right areas, he's making runs, and and I think if he continues to do that, he'll have another chance in this one.
OK, very intriguing game so far. Plenty of Portugal chances early on, but we are all square in Toronto. Second half action on the way. That's next on TalkSport.
listen, I'm not saying he's played absolutely brilliantly, but I don't think you can criticise him for how Portugal have played. I think they've played very well in terms of possession and creating chances, and he's been a big part of that. And I think if you are looking for a goal late on, and as you go further into the game, I don't think he's one that's running round and he'll be leggy as the game draws on, because he's learnt to play in a way that he doesn't have to do that. And I think if an opportunity comes and a chance comes round, you want Ronaldo on the end of it.
OK, Croatia making a change then. The second half about to start. Let's rejoin your commentary team. The former Ipswich captain Luke Chambers alongside TalkSport's Mark Wilson.
Cheers, Ollie. Yeah, there is a change, and it comes for Croatia, and it comes up top. Igor Matanovic of Freiburg, the 23-year-old, making his third appearance at the World Cup. He comes on to replace Ante Budimir, who gave his running in that first half, but found it hard to get involved, and the change is made. We'll get you the teams in a moment. We're about to get underway back in Toronto then. The end of the road for either Portugal or Croatia. Could be just 45 minutes and a bit of change away here at the World Cup. Winner reminder goes to Dallas on Monday to take on Spain, the European champions. And Portugal will have the ball and they'll bring it forward down their left-hand side. Looking to counter quickly, and they're going to get a chance here into the edge of the area. The fullback's got forward. He tried to square it for Ronaldo. It was Nuno Mendes. He was in on goal. Luke Chambers, should he have shot?
Well, we're just watching Croatia just scramble things away, but he's through on goal and he tries to look for Ronaldo, but the shot is there for all to see. We've got a direct line between us, him and the back post, and it looks for all the world he's just going to get a shot off and put Portugal 1-0 up, but he chooses to try and set up Ronaldo. And you've got Satalo and Pongracic at centre-half for Croatia. They just mop up the pass easily, but what a chance for Portugal to go and get an effort on goal.
Yeah, it was a huge chance. Diogo Costa is the Portuguese goalkeeper. A back four of Mendes, Veiga, Diaz and Cancelo. João Neves and Vitinha sitting just in front of them, with Pedro Neto, Bruno Fernandes and Rafael Leao behind. Cristiano Ronaldo leads the line, and it is Portugal who are attacking again. They're going to the left as we look on here. Ronaldo tries to flick the ball round the corner. Vlasic clears it away, and here's the substitute, just overruns it, Matanovic, but it's one back here, and here goes Kovacic, and it's 3-on-3 here for Croatia. Kovacic carries the ball, finds a lovely pass here, Sucic into the box, he's pulled it back. It was a tight old angle, it's not cleared. Here's Vlasic, edge of the area, feeds it to Kovacic, whose run got this started. Croatia looking to attack, looking to break the deadlock. Cross comes in from the left-hand side, it's cleared. Here's Perisic. What a start to the second half. 2 minutes gone and chances at both ends. Here's Luka Modric. Not really been involved, if we're brutally honest, in that first 45 minutes. He's on the ball now as Croatia attack away to the right. That they're just been pushed back a little bit here. They're working it with Perisic. Good tackle comes in, and Portugal now will look to counter. Well, they just getting a bit of a tangle there at the back, and it's going to be won back by Modric. Croatia making a good start here. They'll feed it forward. There's the substitute, Matanovic. Here's Kovacic into the box. Stumbles, fires, and hits the side netting. Hit the keeper. It's a save from Diogo Costa. But he was into the box, Kovacic. He got the shot away, and it's saved at the near post. Still 0-0. Sloppy bit of play from both sides, but Croatia just almost, through sheer willingness and numbers, overwhelmed Portugal, and Kovacic gets away. And from our angle, it looks like it's nestled into that far corner. Kovacic does brilliantly to wrong foot and use Cancelo's pace against him, drags it to his left foot, and he aims for that near post. But Costa just sticks out a leg, and it's a corner for Croatia. But what a chance. Brilliant bit of play from Croatia. Yeah, it was. They've got a corner over on the far side. And Vlasic waits at the near post, and there are four, like Perisic and Pongracic at the far post. Corner about to be whipped in, but chance at both ends. Start of the second half. Luka Modric to take the corner. Referee just pointing out he doesn't want any pushing and shoving. There are two blue shirts at the near post, three at the far post. But they're going to play it short here. Seems to be the order of the day in this match, short corners. Are they going to put the ball into the box? They do, and it's chested down at the near post, and the shot comes in. Well, there was a chance for Rafael Leao. He just tried to chest it down, run out of his own box. Vlasic got it, He had the shot but pulled it wide of the target.
You can't question Leao's confidence, can you, as he tries to bring a cross from Modric down on his chest on the corner of his 6-yard box and tried to strike away in that white kit, and Vlasic picks the ball up and just tries to leather one back towards the front post. But yeah, real let-off again.
Yeah, Livakovic, the goalkeeper for Croatia, Perisic, Pongracic, Sotalo and Stanisic, the back four. Kovacic and Modric holding. Baturina, Sucic and Vlasic behind the new striker at half-time, Igor Matanovic. As the ball played forward, it remains goalless. And now coming forward here goes Sucic. Carries the ball beautifully, lays it off, gets it back. He's still going here, Sucic. Eventually tackled 25 yards out from goal, and Bruno Fernandes will bring it forward. He carries it over halfway, gets the ball away on that far side to João Cancelo. The game again has opened up. 5 gone second half. It remains goalless. Interesting point Ollie made half time about Ronaldo, and would you bring him off? Could be his last ever World Cup game. As cross comes in from right straight to Livakovic. Similar comment to Luka Modric, because he's not really, if we're brutally honest, he's not been overly involved, has he?
No, I think from his perspective, he's definitely touched it a lot more inside these first 5 minutes of the second half than he really did in the first.
Ball given away though, playing out from the back by Croatia, but then Leao's pass was a little bit lacklustre. It was nicked away. Referee might have got in the way of Vlasic there. He couldn't get the ball, and then there's a foul, and Vlasic is not happy. I think Croatia feel they've been on the wrong end of a few 50-50s. I don't think they're too bothered about that foul, but Vlasic was impeded there potentially by the referee.
Yeah, I think they've appealed absolutely everything so far, but I don't think they've had too many legs to stand on with some of the decisions that have been given against them. But it hasn't really affected the way they've approached it. They've got on with things and regrouped into shape. They're now sat in 2 banks of 4 with almost a front 2 of Sucic and Matanovic.
Yeah, he's a big strong lad, isn't he, Matanovic? He looks mobile as well. He's going to give them a threat up top. Maybe change the way that Croatia can play the game. They made the early change. Budimir, whose goal in this stadium was enough to beat Panama on the second group game. Winner of this will go on to take on Spain, who put 3 past Austria. Could have had 3 more as well. Yet to concede in the tournament, the European champions. Portugal have it. Here's Ronaldo, middle of the Croatian half. Gets the ball away. Back to Vitinha. He carries forward here, driving to the edge of the box. Good tackle, Modric. They've given it away, but they're going to get a free kick this time, and this time it's Portugal who are not happy with the referee, but it is a free kick to Croatia. 6 gone, 0-0.
Yeah, you mentioned, we're talking about Ronaldo, aren't we, and Modric, and I think if Modric stops having an impact on the game, he makes a great tackle there for Croatia to just break Vitinha's press as he tries to run through the centre of the 18-yard box, and if he stops having that influence, I've got no doubt that Dalic will make that change for Croatia and try and add some more impetus in that central midfield area.
Yeah. At the moment, warm day in Toronto. Who will be feeling left out in the cold when it comes to the last 16? One of them will be going home after this one. Croatia have it. Just for the record, 5 times Croatia have been to extra time and beyond, and 5 times they've won. They won't fear the extra time. Here though, there might be a chance for Vlasic, edge of the box. They've broken nicely onto his left foot. He's got the man outside him here to put the cross in towards the 6-yard box. It'll fall here. Perisic in on goal, and he's scored. Ivan Perisic had a touch on the edge of the 6-yard box, and he picked his spot and drilled it past Costa, and Croatia in front. Portugal 0, Croatia 1.
What a fantastic goal from Croatia, and every single member of the Croatian playing squad runs the width of the pitch to that far right-hand corner where they all celebrate. But it's brilliant play on this near side, and for the 2 players that had a difficult opening 25 minutes on that right-hand side for Croatia, Vlasic, Stanisic, they combine, they wait for the overlap. Stanisic gets on the overlap, he takes his time, and he stands up a brilliant cross. And you mentioned the substitute that's been made up top for Croatia, and Matanovic, all 6'5" of him, attacks the cross towards the back post, and Ruben Diaz, they both miss it, but it's that man Perisic who's come up with so many big moments for Croatia over the last 10-15 years. He takes a touch, he takes another one, he settles himself, and he just drills one back across, through Cancelo's legs, through Costa's legs, and puts Croatia 1-0 up. Brilliant goal.
It really was. Picked his spot and places it in the back of the net. It's his 39th goal for Croatia. It's another massive, massive goal for him. We mentioned players that'll be moving on after the World Cup. He's another one on that list, 37 years of age. But I said to you, I thought he was brilliant against Ghana, and he's been really good again today. And all of a sudden, Portugal have got some big questions to answer.
Well, every single time I watch him play, he just rolls back the years, and that's the left back. He finds himself at the back post. The right back crosses to the left back for Croatia, and he takes the goal brilliantly.
Yeah, he does indeed. And now forward come Croatia again. Satalo getting adventurous from centre-half, was upended by João Neves. Well, we've had nearly 10 minutes of the second half in Toronto. You're live on TalkSport. Portugal 0, Croatia 1. It's those in those famous red and white check shirts that are celebrating in Toronto now. There's a long way to go. We mentioned that record in extra time and penalty shootouts, but Croatia deciding they want to get it done now. They had a chance there. They were passed, though, to Petar Sučić, was just misplaced, and Portugal happy just to get the ball back. And well, we were talking at half-time, we felt Croatia, if they could get it right, would have a goal in them, and now they've got one. And the question is, can Portugal find a goal?
Credit to them, they've started brilliant in this second half. I think the introduction of Matanovic up top, he's pressed high, he's made an impact, he's bundled through a couple of Portugal players, and he's just created a bit of sort of chaos up top for them.
And here's another break here, and they're trying to get in here. It's Vlasic, who's just closed down there in the end by Nuno Mendes. Danger not done. Here's Sučić, feeds it through. Vlasic, is he onside? He pulls it back and it's turned in! No offside flag. Yes, there is. Vlasic, he did have a look. It was a great pullback. It was an even better finish at the near post, but it will be checked. But the flag might just have saved Portugal.
Yeah, Vlasic had a hand on that first one, and he just drifts offside as he tries to get himself back along the line, running horizontal to the edge of the 18-yard box. And there's a lovely reverse ball from Sučić, and he finds a big frame again of Matanovic, who just nicks it before Vega and puts it at the near post.
Yeah, ball up the other end is trying to get in behind. Modric will just pick up the pieces, edge of his own penalty area. Portugal 0, Croatia 1, and this really does open things up here. And the flick round the corner, but already you'd argue in the opening 11 minutes here, Luke, of the second half, Croatia have had more go-forward threat than they had in the entire first half.
Absolutely, but they deserve the lead, and they've started brilliantly, and we said they got stronger as the game wore on. They're dominating Portugal without the ball. They have numbers behind it when Portugal try and create any sort of momentum. There's 10 players in blue shirts behind the ball. They're really, really disciplined, and it's the opposite for Portugal.
Yeah, well, here's Leao, the other end, goes for the curler from 20 yards, hits the crossbar, falls there for Pedro Neto, and the ball cleared. Well, Leao looks down at his boots, he couldn't have hit that any better on the edge of the area, and it cannons off the crossbar. Cross comes in, keeper comes and gets it. But let's be fair, Dominic Livakovic could only stand and admire that shot from Leao, but the crossbar saves Croatia, still 1-0.
Well, since the first 25 minutes, that's the first bit of space that he's been able to find, and he picks it up 25 yards from goal, just on the angle of the 18-yard box, and steps inside unopposed and hits an absolute thunderbolt with all the instep of his right foot, and it looks like it's going to drift into the top far corner. It cannons off the crossbar, inches away for a Portuguese equaliser.
And here again, it's 3-on-3, and it's Croatia advancing forward here. In fact, it's 4-on-3 here. Can they find a pass? They get it to the left again. Here's the shot. Keeper saves it, and it's behind, and it was Sučić with a shot on his right foot. There's chances coming thick and fast now, and it's a save from Costa to keep it at 1-0.
And credit to Sučić, he makes up 40 yards of space and strides down the far left-hand side, and brilliant from Vlasic. He rolls in a lovely pass, he cuts inside on his right foot, and credit to Costa, he stands up again. But the difference between the two breaks for both sides is every single player in a blue shirt is behind the ball when Portugal have possession. That is not happening when Croatia break. It's a back four against four attacking players for Croatia.
Here's the corner swung in And it's not the greatest corner. It'll fall edge of the box. Modric will head it back in. Matanovic will bring it down, but he can't find a teammate. Ronaldo did well. And then the foul comes in. And, well, Modric has been given a yellow card for that. And, well, the yellow card was almost out of the referee's pocket before Modric had made the foul there.
And I think Modric used every single year of those 40 years to just stop the break from Portugal, just flick the ankles of Vitinha, no way near the ball, ends up kicking himself and goes down. And he'll take that yellow card, no problem. Croatia retreat back into their numbers behind the ball.
Yeah, well, that is. Oh, look at this. We're getting a triple change from Portugal. Roberto Martinez is going to respond instantly here. His side going behind. Luka Modric becomes the second player in the referee's book. And we're about to get a triple change. In fact, could even be a quadruple change. Let's see, 4 subs. Well, Roberto Martinez might have just over half an hour left as the Portugal manager, and he's going to make some big decisions, and he's about to make them right now. 4 stripped and ready to go. His side behind to Croatia, and a ball over the top looking for Ronaldo, brings it down beautifully. What a finish, but the flag has gone up. It was impeccable from Ronaldo. He pulled the ball down out of the sky and he lifted it over the advancing keeper. But the flag goes up, and once again, the offside flag denies us a goal in Toronto. Portugal 0, Croatia 1.
And Ronaldo staring intently. It's lovely play, and it's Pedro Neto again cutting in on his left. He looks like he may be onside here. It's a brilliant ball off his left foot, just outside the centre circle. Ronaldo with his right foot just on the corner of the 6-yard box, brings it down and then just nicks it past Livakovic in the goal for Croatia. I think it may stand this.
I think he's onside. Having seen that replay, he was furious when the flag went up. Now, this will be getting checked, but on the one shot we have seen, it looked like he'd held his run to perfection. The touch was immaculate. It's been checked here, and there might yet be joy for Portugal, because this is closer than I think anyone thinks it might be. I haven't seen another replay yet. The touch and the finish were world class from Ronaldo. What you expect from peak Ronaldo. The only question is, did he time his run?
It looks so tight, and we've only seen the one replay, but at the time I thought he looked onside. He looked like he timed it brilliantly, but the touch and the finish, it was absolutely brilliant.
Well, they're making the changes while the check is going on, which seems a little bit random to me. Right, we need to get our abacus out here, because there's plenty of changes being made at the moment. One of the players going off is Vitinha. He is going to be replaced. Also going off, Bruno Fernandes being taken off. There's confusion here because nobody knows what the score is, and Roberto Martinez is making a flurry.
It doesn't. We've not been intimated that the check's over as well.
I think that might have just been relayed here. We're going to see a replay of it again. Oh, it's going to be his arm. Well, automated VAR, offside, sorry, has said he is offside by a shoulder. That was close. And the touch and the finish. He's never scored a goal in the World Cup knockout stages. This is his 9th game. It's a blot on the illustrious copybook. As what are Croatia doing here? Trying to play out from the offside. They've given away a needless corner. It was a horrendous pass back to Livakovic. Well, Ronaldo denied by the offside flag. We'll get you all those changes in a moment. That was a bizarre period of the game there, wasn't it? But it remains 1-0 to Croatia. But Portugal gifted an absolute gift of a corner here.
Sloppy play from Croatia just when it seemed to things be calming down for them. Portugal have certainly responded. A big chance for them now with Mendes on the set piece to deliver a decent corner for Portugal to attack.
Yeah, can they get the leveller here? There's plenty going on in that 18-yard box. Carlos Ramos is one of those that's come on. He'll be hoping to get a good first touch and get Portugal level. Ball whipped in. It's a great delivery, and in the end it's put wide. Then the referee may well have pointed for an infringement, but it's Rafael Leao who's side-footed it wide when well placed. Corners again causing huge problems for Croatia.
Yeah, and all Rafael Leao has to do, he stood on the 6-yard box, level with the back post, a lovely ball in from Mendes. It evades everyone. Vega goes down, appealing for a penalty, and he can't get the right foot, side foot, on the goal. But it looks like there's a coming together along that 6-yard box.
Yeah, it certainly does. Remains 1-0. Roberto Martinez is looking on. Ronaldo's appealing here. Now, they're appealing. I think there was an infringement they might have seen on the big screen, but referee is having none of it. Let's just go through those changes then. Goncalo Ramos comes on for João Cancelo, Bernardo Silva on for Vitinha, Nelson Semedo on for Bruno Fernandes, and Francisco Conceição is on for Pedro Neto. Now they are checking for something that happened at this corner, so the drama is not yet over here. Now what have we seen? Was Ronaldo pulled? Well, it's a rugby tackle there, and this could be on the defender Vega, and it's Vlasic who's gone to rugby tackle him, and they're having a look at this, and now the referee's going over to the screen, and it looks like we might be about to get a Portuguese penalty here. Having seen it, and there are Vlasic is there, it's 13 on 13, and it's Vlasic who's got his arm around the waist of his defender there, and he has, well, he's seemingly brought him down, Luke Chambers.
Well, I called it at the time, and we're talking about Leao, couldn't get the right foot on it, but Vega looks like he's going to head it. He gets away from Vlasic, he sidesteps him, first takes a hand to the face, and then Vlasic is the wrong side. He's almost got two hands round his waist and just drags him down. I'd be very surprised if they don't give this. It looks like a certain penalty to me.
Well, he was, half a metre short of heading it into the net or heading it towards goal. They've had a look. Here comes the decision.
After review, Croatia player number 13 holds his opponent with 2 arms with clear impact. Final decision, penalty.
Penalty. So Ronaldo, who was denied a few moments ago, will get his chance, you would imagine, from the penalty spot here. And Vlasic with the rugby tackle, the arms round the Portuguese player, and having seen the replay, there can be no argument about this.
No, I think it's just because it has so much impact on the actual final opportunity for Vega to head the ball on target. It has to be given as a penalty. He wrong foots Vlasic in his movement, he gets away, he gets the wrong side of him, but what an opportunity after Ronaldo was denied his goal 5 minutes ago. He has a massive chance now to put Portugal on level terms.
Well, is this his moment? Never scored in a knockout World Cup match. A chance to put that right and get his country back in this contest. Deep breaths, a quiet word to himself. Livakovic waits. Ronaldo stood directly in line with the ball and the goal. A puff of the cheeks, he moves to his left, studded run up, short run up, and he sends it straight down the middle. Cristiano Ronaldo, at 41 years of age, scores in a World Cup knockout game for the very first time, and he levels it up. Portugal 1, Croatia 1.
And he's absolutely mobbed by his teammates, the joy on their faces, the joy on his faces, the Sioux ringing round the stadium is absolutely incredible. What a response from Portugal, and what a moment for Cristiano Ronaldo. The pressure he must have felt it was all against him. Ruled out a goal 5 minutes ago from being offside. He steps up and delivers a brilliant penalty right down the middle. But it has to be, for me, you can't argue with the penalty. It's a certain penalty for me. Vlasic drags down Vega. But what a game we have on our hands now.
Well, that's their first attempt on target since that early shot from Bruno Fernandes 4 minutes into the match. Stuttered run up, just placed it straight down the middle. Livakovic dived away to his right, and Ronaldo celebrates. Talk of retirement if Portugal were to lose this. Well, he's doing his level best to keep his country in it. One disallowed and then no mistake from the spot. But what a 13 minutes or so, 23 minutes or so, it's flying
it's
by.
Flown by.
We've had at the start of the second half. 1-1 and very much game on.
Well, it's been all Croatia, hasn't it? But that moment, Pedro Neto stepped inside and delivered a lovely ball through to Ronaldo. And he took the chance, but he was offside. And then the 4-person change from Roberto Martinez, it's had a massive effect, and now we've got our hydration break. Ronaldo runs off towards the halfway line, geeing up the Portuguese fans. He's certainly got the bit between his teeth now.
He has. Even Perisic with a goal on 52 minutes. His 39th international goal. It sees him now on 7 World Cup finals goals for Perisic, makes him the outright Croatian top scorer in World Cup finals. And he was their oldest scorer at 37 years of age. Ronaldo hadn't scored in 8 knockout stage World Cup matches. Well, he has got one now, and he is the oldest scorer in a World Cup knockout stage match, and that with his first touch that counted inside the penalty area. It is 1-1, 21 minutes left, plus the hydration, plus the VAR time, all that to come. We could be in for the long haul here, Luke Chambers. 1-1, who's your money on now?
Well, if it stays like this, I'm happy to be in it for the long haul. It's been brilliant, especially since that half-time. But I still look at Croatia, and I still feel they have more than enough to go on and win this game. But now, with Portugal making 4 changes, credit to Roberto Martinez, some big decisions of taking Fernandes off, taking Vitinha off, adding 2 strikers on the pitch in Gonçalo Ramos. But we're looking at replays now in this hydration break of Perisic's goal. They've certainly got threats, but Ronaldo again is the man that takes on all the pressure, takes on everything for this side. He's certainly had his critics, but tonight he certainly answered more than enough of those, because he's had a real impact on this game so far, and he'll be looking now to try and take the extra step and get that second goal for his side.
Yeah, he will indeed. Perfect penalty, straight down the middle. Keeper moves out of the way. Roberto Martinez celebrates. It was a game that had ebbed and flowed. There have been chances. Both sides had a goal ruled out rightly, it has to be said, for offside. Matanovic at one end, Ronaldo at the other, but then Ronaldo from the spot. And Perisic will be gutted that his goal has been chalked out so quickly, and Vlasic will be even more disappointed with his role that he played in that penalty. Been a change in the break as well. Baturina goes off for Mario Pasalic has come on, so the second Croatian change here, and this game now is firmly in the balance.
Let's just hope for a bit more of the same. Croatia have responded brilliantly since Zlatko Dalic's half-time tea talk, but credit to Portugal, they've bounced back. It looked like Croatia were in the ascendancy, but they needed that main man, Cristiano Ronaldo, to step up when it mattered. It's now 1-1.
It is, and now a throw-in for Croatia, looking to launch it into the penalty area. Perisic will take it. Plenty of blue shirts forward here. Who's going to get the winner? Who will go on? Whose Lance Stance will get one more go? Will it be Ronaldo, or will it be Modric? Ronaldo's goal levels things up in Toronto. Long throw, it's a great throw as well. It comes off ahead of the Portuguese, and in the end Diego Costa comes out, makes a fine save, flies out to take command of the position. 18 remaining plus the added on time. Confirmation, Baturina off, Mario Pasalic on. Ball now here with Leao. We lose sight of the fact he's smashed one against the woodwork in this second half. What a second half it has been. Here now, forward come Portugal. Vlasic wins it back, then loses it again. Leao has it, and now the ball on halfway. And we mentioned at half-time, there's certainly no lack of intent from both of these two teams, and now they're just going hard at it as they look to get a spot in the last 16. Spain wait in Dallas on Monday night. You'll hear it live on TalkSport, of course. Busy day Monday, early start, 1 a.m. Monday morning for England in Mexico. Pongracic does well to watch that ball out, and it goes out for a goal kick. 1-1.
It's just interesting to see back on that penalty and the decision that was given, but I think it goes back to the fact that Croatia were marking in zonal areas, and they just had a massive gap right in the middle of the 6-yard box where there wasn't 2 blue shirts, and it just highlighted the fact that Vega was able to get away from Vlasic, who again isn't a man marker, he's a wide midfield player, and he was put against Portugal's set half, probably main attacking outlet from set pieces. So something for Croatia to look at if they do progress in this one.
Yeah, remains at 1-1, but it is very much in the balance here. All with Portugal. Had that heartbreaker, that offside goal, but they bounced back. Instantaneously VAR getting involved as it did last night when the USA were reduced to 10 in their win over Bosnia and Herzegovina. Here's Leao now, tries to go past Stanisic, and Stanisic did really well, stood his ground. He got touched a couple of times in the first half, but defensively stood up pretty well thereafter. But Portugal turn it over high up the field. They feed it forward. Strong challenge goes in. Won back by Croatia. It feels like a bit of a kids' game at the minute. Everyone's just around the ball. Everyone wants a piece of it. But here come Croatia. And once again, not too many white shirts getting back here. Perisic carries down the left-hand side. He looks for the give and go. Sučić goes without it. Ball given away is won instantly back by the team in blue, Croatia. And forward they go. Kovacic driving, another great run, goes for the shot, hits the post and bounces out, falls to Vlasic, Vlasic with a cross to the far post, back here on the volley and it's hit hard. Kovacic again denied, this time by the goalkeeper. The post stopped him the first time, and then Costa palms his volley over for a corner.
Brilliant bit of play again, and we talk about influence, we talk about Ronaldo, we talk about Modric. Mateo Kovacic has been the most influential player in a blue shirt tonight, the number 8, but it's a fantastic save from Diogo Costa. He just gets a touch with his fingertips on that right-hand side, driving to his left, right-footed shot from Kovacic driving through the middle, and then it comes out for a sidewind half volley, which he keeps on target, but just didn't have the power to beat Costa. Corner for Croatia.
Modric will deliver. 6 blue shirts wide at the far post. Now they launch their runs. Here comes the header, and in the end it's headed over the top. I think they got in each other's way there. 2 Croatian players went for the same ball. Ball played over the top going at the other end, and packed there is Pongracic. He makes a great interception. This is so open now. Modric finds Vlasic. Vlasic gets it away to Kovacic. He, an ever-growing piece in this puzzle. Cross comes in, deflects to the far post, brought down by the big centre forward. He gets it on his right foot. What a save from Costa. Great play from Matanovic. He was calm, he could have gone for the header, he brings it down. He went one way, he went the other, and Costa was big and strong. It's another Croatian corner.
Matanovic has made a huge difference. It's a great ball in, but it's flicked on. And Matanovic, all 6'5" of him, he fakes to shoot with his left foot just outside the corner of the 6-yard box. He looks like he's going to bend it with his left foot to the far post, but he chops it back onto his right. But Diogo Costa's there, and he saves it with his face.
He does. Here's Modric on the right from the short corner, out for a throw-in. Plenty of blue shirts forward, but no delivery. 13 of the 90 remaining. You're live on TalkSport. And what started as a bit of a slow burner is boiling over nicely now.
I'm pulling my hair out here. Now another set piece that's been played short. Every time Croatia put the ball in from a corner, they cause Portugal problems, but even Luka Modric is taking short corners, and they block it out and it goes for a throw-in.
Here's Kovacic. A couple of times he's just been allowed to carry the ball, and that time he pulled the trigger, and the woodwork and the keeper deny him. Here now, Stanisic whips in a good-looking ball. There's a bit of wrestling at the far post there, but no appeals from Croatia. Maybe 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, and Leao will bring it down, but he's lost possession. And now, all of a sudden, it's Portugal who can't get hold of the ball at the other end.
No, they're now camped in with 10 players behind the ball. Ronaldo on his own, stood on the halfway line, but even now he's coming back 40 yards from his own goal.
Here's a ball with Perisic on the left. He whips in a good-looking ball. Hooked away, well defended by Nuno Mendes. Leao brings it down this time. And they're looking to play their way out. Croatia looking to squeeze. Long ball, it's an aimless ball. It'll run all the way through to Livakovic. And Croatia get it back again.
Yeah, and I mentioned Croatia will still get stronger in this game. And they certainly are now, dominating possession. Camping inside Portugal's half. They played a lovely ball out again. Perisic playing a little bit higher on that far left-hand side.
Yeah, and they're all flooding forward again. Perisic with the ball in, and it skims off the top of the head of Veiga to save Portugal. Leao will keep it in on the near side, down by his own corner flag. He plays a pass, but they're caught in possession again, although this time Ronaldo's back to bail them out. And he finds Leao, goes past one, but won't get past Vlasic, and it's out for a throw-in.
The work ethic and discipline and the determination from these Croatian players, all in this blue kit. They're absolutely everywhere at the moment. Every time Rafael Leao picks the ball up, there's two. There's Vlasic, there's Stanisic around the ball, and they're just snuffing out any sort of momentum that Portugal are trying to build.
All on halfway. Won back by Modric. It's there to be won, and at the moment you have to say, since the goal went in, Croatia responded beautifully, and now they've got to throw in just over the halfway line.
They have, and we're just looking at Roberto Martinez now on the touchline, talking to Ruben Neves. Looks like he's going to be coming on in that central midfield area, but they certainly lost control of the game, Portugal. It's all Croatia at the moment since Ronaldo's penalty. And they're playing with 3-4 up on the top line. They're playing with lots more confidence. They're playing balls into midfield. Kovacic is having certainly more of an impact. Sučić dropping in from that number 10 position. And they're certainly playing with a lot of confidence. It hasn't really knocked them off their stride, the equaliser.
Yeah. Just think if they can get Sučić an opportunity in front of goal, that strike he had against Ghana, he could be the man. And here he is, right on cue, in on goal, and he rolls it in. Sučić scores for Croatia. He runs away in celebration. He wanted to take the ball with him. He's offside. He won't count. The third time in the second half that the offside flag is denied as a goal. It's still 1-1.
It's the atmosphere inside the stadium that just can't allow you to hear the referee's whistle, but it's Kovacic again. A brilliant ball. He looks like he might be offside from our angle, but maybe just that right shoulder again as he runs off with the ball in his shirt.
I think this is like the Ronaldo. This is really close. My gut reaction is he's onside, having seen that replay. Well, look at this. Now, look at this. This is massive, because Cristiano Ronaldo is being substituted by Roberto Martinez with 10 minutes left. This might be the final time we see him in a Portugal shirt, and he is distraught. He hands over the armband. It's a warm reception for the substitute who replaces him, Neves. There's a pat on the back for Martinez. He got the goal from the spot, but is that the last we've seen of Ronaldo?
I think it may well be, if Portugal don't make it through to the last 16, as all his teammates give him a high five, hugs. Roberto Martinez gives him a hug, but credit to him, he takes it well. He's obviously not happy. All eyes will be on him in that moment. But if Portugal make it through, he'll certainly agree that it was probably the right decision.
Yeah, we've not seen a replay, have we, of the goal, by the way? 1-1 it remains. We didn't see the VAR. We'll probably get that in the next minute or so. It's another tight one. It was a great finish as well. But it's still 1-1, 8 remaining. We're going to have a lot of added on time at the end of this one. There's a long way to go yet in Toronto, where Portugal won, Croatia won. But the big news, Ronaldo, having scored from the spot, has been subbed off. Is that the last time we'll see him on the big stage? As a ball played forward, Pongracic does well, watches it go behind for a goal kick, and we've got 8 minutes of the 90 remaining.
Yeah, Pongracic again for Sutalo at that set. Half defence for Croatia have seen everything, they've read everything now, they're growing into the game, they're even dictating possession from centre half, they're playing out from the back, they're playing with so much more confidence. I think they feel that they can really go on and win this.
Yeah, well, both sides are doing their level best. There's been so many big talking points. Croatia went in front through a lovely finish from Ivan Perisic after good work down the right-hand side. Croatia then had the ball in the back of the net with Matanovic, rightly ruled offside. Ronaldo then thought he'd equalise. Wonderful touch and a dink finish, but the offside flag rightly went up. Having seen the replay, it was close, but he was off. But then, after VAR intervened, after Vlasic pulled down the defender Renato Vega, Ronaldo stepped up from the spot, made it 1-1, and we've just seen there Sučić with the offside chance. We've had the ball in the back of the net 5 times in the second half, yet it's only 1-1. This has been an incredible match between two very good footballing teams. They play, one of them will get to play Spain on Monday in Dallas. That's going to be another massive match. You'll hear it live on TalkSport. Ball played forward, should roll out a play. It does. Good work from Josip Stanisic. Watches it out for a goal kick. Pick as a winner, Luke Chambers.
For me, I'm still looking at Croatia. Just seen a replay of their goal, and now we're seeing an offside. He's offside by his shoulder and half his head, maybe, as he leans forward. But he runs through with balls over the top, as we're seeing one now. Croatia certainly have a chance.
Certainly do. Nelson Semedo, a substitute, having to work hard to keep out Perisic, who's battling hard, and makes him get rid of the ball up towards midway inside the Portuguese half, and they do well. And now they're looking to launch a counter with Nuno Mendes. Drives over halfway, but in his haste to get over the halfway line, went without it, wins it back, gets it wide. Here now is Leao, looking to put the cross in towards the far post, and it's just too high. In the end, it went over Conceição and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, his teammates in the centre just say, calm down, Leao. He cuts inside again on his right foot and doesn't really think about it too much. Conceição, probably the smallest player on the pitch, attempts to head the ball at the far post, but the cross is overhit and goes out for a Croatia goal kick. And that's what Portugal need to do now. They need to be a bit more considered in possession. They're not dominating as much in terms of how much they're keeping the ball, how much territory they're playing with. When they have it at the moment, they're just giving it straight back to Croatia.
Ball played forward from the goal kick, headed back by Portugal, brought down by Stanisic. Here's Kovacic, who's hit the post as well. Remember, we've had two efforts, one at either end has hit the post in the second half. In terms of goal mouth incidents, we've had it all. Leao rattled the woodwork for Portugal, and at the other end Kovacic hit the woodwork, as that back pass not the best back to Diogo Costa, but the man in yellow does well, finds a pass, and Portugal can play forward now. 5 added on minutes, I dare say at least that again, probably even more than that to be added on. There's a ball played over the top here. They're looking to get him down the side. Conceição looking for support for Portugal. Tried to feed it into the path, and it's turned behind by Croatia. And now it's Portugal who are starting to find some joy. Conceição wins the corner.
Yeah, Conceição gets away from Perisic in the left back area, the far right hand side. Lovely ball over the top, and you're just looking for him to deliver it along the 6-yard box. But Gonzalo Ramos doesn't make a run, and he almost stands behind Sotalo, the right side centre half, towards the back post, and just doesn't make himself available. But credit to Croatia, they get themselves back into shape and see one out.
Yeah, and all eyes will be on the defending here. No hands on, and you can see already the jostling has started. It was Vega who won the penalty before. Corner whipped in towards a 6-yard box, and it's headed wide, and it was Vega again. Got up high and diverts it wide of the far post. That wasn't far away. That could and should have been the goal for Portugal.
And he gets away again from his marker, and this time it's Matanovic, the striker for Croatia. But Vega gets a brilliant contact on the ball. He just flicks it towards the back post, but he runs off almost embarrassed, smiling. What an opportunity for him. That's the second one that's gone glaring for him to miss tonight.
3 minutes of the 90 remain. It's 1-1, and it is on a knife edge here. You wouldn't want to have to call the winner. Who will prevail? Ronaldo subbed off. Is that the final time we see him in a Portuguese shirt? It's a massive call, is it, for Roberto Martinez? But he's got to do what he thinks is right for Portugal to win the match, hasn't he?
Well, they've definitely gone to try and win the match, haven't they, with the substitutions they've made? Was that 5 substitutions now? But listen, we're approaching that 90-minute mark, and he did seem like a threat tonight. He certainly did. In behind, he was looking for things, and he was creating things, and yeah, brave decision to take him off. But ultimately, he will want what's best for this team.
Yeah, he will. Sotalo brought it forward, and here's Modric. Croatia looking to work the ball forward. Here now is a chance for Sucic in down the right. Cuts in, and he's got two to aim at in the middle. Puts in the ball, and he's headed wide. Arriving late at the far post there. Pasalic with a header. If he hits it on target, it's a goal, and he's put it wide.
I can't believe he's missed it. It's a brilliant bit of work from Sucic again. Cuts back on his left foot, sends Vega to the shops, and it's Pasalic. He almost ducks down at the last moment, thinking maybe he's going to get crashed into from Semedo. He's about 4 yards out. All he's got to do is hit the target, and it's a goal for Croatia, and he heads it back across goal, out for a goal kick. Absolutely huge opportunity for Croatia.
Well, they're coming thick and fast. Now it's Portugal's turn to go forward. 1-1, we're in the 89th minute. There's going to be a significant amount of added on time. We've had a VAR check, we've had a lot of substitutions, we've had plenty going on, and it remains 1-1 here. Croatia were in front, but not for long. Perisic goal cancelled out by Ronaldo. Here's Bernardo Silva on the edge of his own penalty area. Forward now go Portugal. Pongracic is there, does a good job to get it back to Livakovic, who sends back a bit of a risky pass to his centre-half, who opts to go long. Matanovic beaten to it. Silva will go back and collect it, and forward come Portugal again. 20 seconds of the 90 remaining. We'll await how long will be added on, but I think it's going to be quite significant. I don't think the drama's done yet in the 90-minute match. Leao gets it away. They work it further in field. Ruben Neves gets it away now to Ruben Diaz. Back to Renato Vega. He feeds it wide to Leao. We've got 10 added on minutes. 10 added on minutes here in Toronto, where it's 1-1. Ball back to Vega, who won the penalty and has just headed wide from 6 yards out with a chance to win it for Portugal. There have been chances galore at both ends of the field here. Diaz puts it, and it's headed behind there. He couldn't hang around. Josip Stanisic. Portugal have got a corner. First minute of the extra 10 we're going to play, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, Ruben Diaz with a really big diagonal towards Mendes as he approaches the 18-yard box, just on the byline, and Stanisic has to head it out for a corner, but I think it's Conceição to deliver a free kick. Set piece,
It is. Corner going to be whipped in towards the near post, and a flick header takes it beyond the far post and behind for a goal kick. Ruben Diaz, who got up highest but couldn't divert his header on target, and the first minute of 10 has elapsed here, and we remain level. And now we're going to get a change for Croatia. Josko Gvardiol is about to come on, and he's coming on for Nikola Vlasic, who unfortunately his input into this game will be remembered for giving away the penalty that levelled up the match.
He certainly will, but he also had a massive part to play in everything that was good and positive in the defensive work, and he had a part to play in Croatia's opener as he delivered a ball to Stanisic on the overlap, and he certainly played his part tonight.
He has. It's been a really, really good game of football. Much more open than many would have thought, certainly, and it's still there to be won.
Yeah, it just means Gvardiol now goes to left back for Croatia. Perisic pushes himself on as one of his more familiar roles of wide left midfield. See if he can impact it. 10 minutes of added on time.
Yeah, how good has he been again? Perisic with a goal, wonderful finish, but his energy has been good throughout, and it remains all level. Here now is Mendes looking to get forward into the area. He's gone down. Was that a stumble? Referee immediately says no penalty, and he's no real great appeal from the Portuguese players either. Maybe got his own feet in a bit of a tangle there, but Portugal have won it high up the field again, and there's just a little bit of concern amongst the Croatians here that they can't get the ball out of their own half of the field at the moment.
I just felt like Mendes got his ankles just clipped. It looked a bit clumsy, but I don't think it's enough for a penalty, but it's certainly a question to be asked.
Here's Leao now, down the left-hand side of the Croatian penalty area, lays it back. We're deep into the third of 10 added on minutes. Croatia win a challenge, but it's back to Leao again. A man who started so brightly. Can he get himself involved in this match and maybe win it for Portugal, who certainly in the last few minutes of the 90 are looking in the ascendancy here. They're ending the stronger. Here is Rafael Leao now, puts in a good looking ball, he's headed and it's in! Turned in! What a header! It's the substitute Gonçalo Ramos who heads in from close range, and Portugal have turned this one around. A great ball into the far post. It's a pinpoint header. No chance for Livakovic. Portugal 2, Croatia 1.
What a header from Gonçalo Ramos. He's between three blue shirts just outside the 6-yard box. It's Rafael Leao. We're just talking about it as we watch Ronaldo jump on the back of Ramos in front of us. The ball is out wide to Rafael Leao. He stands on it. No one really gets near him, and he just delivers a right foot cross. It's between Guardiola and Pongracic, who have been brilliant all night long, but Ramos gets up early above them. They can't really attack the ball, and Livakovic has absolutely no chance. What a header. He just flicks it towards the back post and it trips in, and it's a brilliant reaction from Portugal from going 1-0 down.
Well, they ended in the ascendancy, and now they've got the goal. But what a goal. If you'd have paused that a yard out from his head, you'd have thought there's no chance he's going to score from there, but he's got up high and he's given the keeper no chance at all.
And after Pongracic at left side centre-half for Croatia has absolutely dominated everything he's had to do tonight, it's just a little bit of confusion between him and Guardiola at that left-back spot, and it allows Ramos to just jump early. If Pongracic goes and attacks the ball, he should just head it away, but neither of them do anything, and Ramos takes charge and he just flicks the ball, uses the pace from the delivery from Rafael Leao, and it puts Portugal 2-1 up, and that will not be the last time that we see Cristiano Ronaldo.
No, it might be the last chance we get to see Luka Modric on the world stage, and the cameras are all honing in on him. There are 5 minutes of the minimum 10 added on time, and it was noticeable. They were getting frustrated, Croatia, because they couldn't get out of their own half, and the pressure ultimately is told as Kovacic for Andre Kramaric, 35 years of age, 36 international goals. Can he get one now? Kovacic has been outstanding. Hit the post, remember, at 1-1, then denied by Diogo Costa. Well, it's all hands on deck now as forward come Croatia, and they're going to get a 10. Sucic puts in an early ball. It's cleared away by Vega. But here come the blue shirts of Croatia now. It's all or nothing in the next 4 minutes of added on time. There might be a little bit of change to be added on to that as well. But it's all hands on pump now. They may as well lose 3-1 than not try to get that equaliser.
Absolutely, it's the most blue shirts we've seen in Portugal's half all night, as Roberto Martinez just waves his players. Can you get up the pitch? Don't drop into the 18-yard box.
Here now is a chance for Sucic. Feeds it out wide. Forward come Croatia again. Opportunity to put the cross in. It's deep towards the far post. It's headed towards goal, and it's headed away from goal by that man Vega again. Right place and the right time. Ball not yet dealt with. It's turned round the corner. Miscontrolled edge of the box, just volleyed up in the air by Portugal. 6.5 of the 10 have gone, and Portugal lead by 2-1, and the break could be on. Conceição just opts to keep possession and does well, and then feeds it back, and he's maybe a bit lucky there that Mendes got a touch on that, because he almost played it straight to a blue shirt.
He did. You thought, where's he going? There was 4 blue shirts around him. He decided to dribble past all of them, then smash it back to Nuno Mendes at left back, who then had the calmness to just take a touch, cut inside, and then find his white teammate.
Now there's a yellow card. Perisic has maybe left one on one of the Portuguese defenders. Now he's squaring up to the referee, protesting his innocence. The referee's having none of it, and that is Ruben Diaz who's on the wrong end of that one, and it is going to be a free kick. Well, he's pushed out at him, and Ruben Diaz has collapsed like a pack of cards.
Yeah, I think there was a coming together off the ball initially, and then Ruben Diaz tried to run up the pitch. Perisic, 2 hands, pushes him over. And Ruben Diaz is one of the strongest men on the pitch, decides to go down as if he isn't. But frustration's creeping in for Croatia, especially someone so experienced with even Perisic for Croatia.
Well, as we found out with England the other night, falling behind is not necessarily the end of the world. Croatia could become the 5th team in 12 matches to lead and lose in the last 32. I always say about the first goal being important. Well, in 5 of the matches, the team that scored first has gone out. And here come Croatia. They're not done yet. 2 minutes left. Is that handball? It's gone behind for a corner. They'll take the corner. And now surely everybody's coming forward here.
All they need now, Croatia, is one good delivery. They've certainly had opportunities when they've put the ball in the box. And for Portugal, can they hang on? And everything depends on it when you're in these positions.
Well, here's Modric, whips it in. Dealt with at the near post, bundled behind. It's a goal kick. Croatia not happy. They thought it should have been another corner. They surround the official. Frustrations boiling over here. Diogo Costa told to get on with it. Don't be messing about, says the referee. One of the minimum 10 still to be played. Portugal 2, Croatia 1. Croatia led through Ivan Perisic on 52 minutes. Ronaldo equalised from the penalty spot. And then Ramos with a header in added on time. That mean Portugal are going through as it stands to face Spain in Dallas on Monday night. What a titanic tussle that will be between two local European rivals. Can Croatia stop that narrative? Can they keep their talisman Luka Modric's career alive? This might be the last time we ever see him on a professional football field unless Croatia can get something now. Modric has it on halfway. He comes forward. He needs to find an outlet. He gets it away over on the far side. Here's Kramaric. Kramaric now feeds it. There are 3 blue shirts waiting in the middle for a cross. They're driving forward here. They need to find a cross. No, they're going to lay it back. There's a chance to build here, but they're running out of time. We've had the 10 added on minutes. Here now is Sucic. Sucic plays it for Modric. Modric can't get in, and that might be it. Modric dives in vain. It might be his last touch. He tried to cross, but the ball beat him over the goal line. And Portugal now are seconds away from a spot in the last 16.
Just an overhit pass as Modric made that last desperate burst just inside the 18-yard box towards the byline. And credit to João Neves, the 21-year-old, comes across, steps over the ball, and is congratulated by his teammates with big high fives on the 6-yard box.
Referee allows play to go on. Roberto Martinez looks on, asks how long is left. Croatia have it deep in their own half. They trail 2-1. They go long now. They're in the last chance saloon. Vega wins the header. Ball played forward. Croatia player goes down, but they've got to get on with it. They can't afford to waste any time. Forward now comes Nelson Semedo. Roberto Martinez made more changes when they went behind, and now a chance to win it in style, but Conceição blazes a shot wide at the end. We've played 11 minutes. Ronaldo, like the assistant coach, is trying to organise his team from the sideline. There's a push there. Croatia play on. We're into the 12th minute and they're flooding forward now. Matanovic waits in the middle. Surely they've got to deliver a cross. Perisic drives it straight into the arms of the keeper, and that will do it for Portugal now. He falls on the floor. He falls to the ground. Croatia hearts broken here in Toronto. What a dramatic game of football we've had. The referee, though, still plays on. 12 minutes gone now. Modric on halfway. Got to find a pass forward. Was that a free kick? No, that would have been a chance just to get it forward now. They've just got to throw caution to the wind, Croatia. Still they try and play. They're out wide. They need to put the ball in the box. They're on borrowed time here at the World Cup, and still they move it wide. There are 4 blue shirts waiting in the middle for a cross. Here it comes now. Last chance, flicked on. Chance, turned in. They scored. Croatia have scored. It's Gvardiol. He's turned it in the 13th minute of added on time. And Croatia are still alive. Portugal 2, Croatia 2.
Absolutely unbelievable scenes. Gvardiol had a massive part to play in Portugal, thinking they'd got the winner. He didn't deal with it defensively, but he's found himself in a position to divert the ball back in. Perisic has been left to deliver a free cross off his right foot, delivers it to the back post, it drops down, and Guardiola comes from absolutely nowhere. He's not even in the picture, he then drops in towards the penalty spot, and he's the first man to react from the substitute at half-time. Matanovic's header down, but it may be an offside as it's flicked on, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, no, it hits the defender, so does that mean that he's played on? Oh, this is going to go down to a VAR to decide. It was at the back post, it was kept in by Pasalic, and then it was Guardiola who turned it. Now they're appealing Portugal for an offside, but it did hit Renato Vega on its way through.
The question is, does the delivery on the cross come off Perisic and then flick off Matanovic? That's the question, and if it does, surely that makes Pasalic at the back post offside.
Are we about to be denied the most dramatic of finishes here? Well, hang on a second. VAR is checking the goal, and the referee is coming across, and maybe Croatia's joy is about to be short-lived.
We're just watching a slow-motion replay of the ball potentially flicking off Matanovic's head, and we're looking at a snickometer. Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, it is the snicko, and it says, I think that says that Matanovic has got a touch on this,
and
if he gets the touch on, then Pasalic is offside and the goal won't count.
And he's 2 yards offside if it is flicked off by Matanovic, who's just level with a penalty spot. And
here comes the decision. Will Croatia's hearts be broken by VAR? Modric appeals. Referee.
Croatia player number 20 touched the ball and headed to the goal scorer. Final decision, offside.
The goal is ruled out. Croatia cannot believe it. Portugal celebrate again. Modric shakes his head. It was the faintest of faint touches. And I think without the snicker, I don't think you can overrule and say he touched that. Ronaldo smiles on the sideline. We thought we were destined for 30 more magical minutes in Toronto, but for Croatia, the dream is surely now up. We're into the 16th minute of added on time, and it remains Portugal 2, Croatia 1.
I just can't believe what we're witnessing, and it is the smallest snickometer you've ever seen. If he's flicked it, Pasalic is offside, but it's just the carnage that just unfolded before, and you're looking, okay, you've added 3 extra minutes onto the 10. Where have they come from? It played on and on and on, and they were able to get it, but in the letter of the law, Matanovic has flicked it on, Pasalic is offside, and the goal shouldn't stand.
And if you look at Pasalic's first reaction, he turned around to look at the official. He knew he was in an offside position unless it had got a touch first off a Croatian defender. If it had hit the the Portuguese defender first, that would have been a goal, but it didn't. And still now we play. Well, the farcical scenes here. We're into the 17th added on minute. We had 10 added on, and I don't recall any stoppages in the 10. And yeah, here we are 6-7 minutes later. We still not had the final whistle.
No, it's just chaos now. Every single player's surrounding the referee. Players from both sides are talking to each other. The decision's been made, but Croatia are certainly not taking it easily, as you would expect. It's a real disappointing one for them, but ultimately the right decision has been made.
Yeah, it has. 4 goals we've had disallowed in the second half.
How many woodworks have we had? 3?
Yeah. I've had at least 2.
Fantastic.
I've lost count.
Second half. What a game of football.
Yeah. It was 0-0 at the break. We've had 3 goals, 4 disallowed, a couple of crossbars rattled. More VAR drama than you can imagine.
A Ronaldo goal.
Yeah. Ronaldo's first goal. The Croatian fans are not. I'm not sure what the delay is now. The decision has been given, and when you look at it, whether you believe in the snicker or not, we think somebody might have been thrown onto the field. That's been the problem down at one end from the Croatian fans. They're waiting for that to be dealt with. Disappointment for them in Toronto. I'm not sure they deserve to lose. I want to say in the 90 minutes. We're in the 108th minute now. It would have been a fairy tale ending, wouldn't it? There's no doubt he's in an offside position once they've confirmed that Matanovic's got the faintest of touches. Guardiola's moment ruled out.
Oh, You can't tell. We're looking
like
at
he's hit his
another
head, doesn't it? It doesn't even look like he's hit his head.
No,
he might have hit a strand. If he'd have had a skinhead, I don't think he gets a touch on that.
And credit to Croatia, just throwing caution to the wind. So many bodies around that second ball.
Well, here we go. We're back in play, and still we play on. The 19th added on minute, and here come Croatia again. They're not done yet, although they might be now as the ball is volleyed downfield. Still we play on. Portugal pick it up on halfway. Semedo plays it forward. Surely they just run it into the corner and run down time. Referee has a look at his watch. He's got his whistle poised to blow, and there it is. For Ronaldo, the dream goes on. The last dance gets one more chapter against Spain. His goal got Portugal back on level terms after Ivan Perisic had put the Croatians in front. Well, that doesn't sum up part of the drama. There were disallowed goals at both ends. Ronaldo got one of them. Croatia had the ball in the back of the net 3 more times, yet none of them did count. And it was Ramos with a header after Ronaldo had been subbed off almost in tears. And it's Luka Modric's career that comes to a crashing halt in Toronto. 40 years of age. That will, I think, be it. He exchanges pleasantries with his opponents. This has been a fantastic game. Certainly the second half will live long in the memory. But Croatia, as brave as they were, thought they'd snatched a goal to take it to extra time from Gvardiol in the 103rd minute. But VAR and Snicko mean it's Portugal that go through. What a dramatic night, the start of another bumper day of World Cup action on TalkSport. And it's Portugal who will face Spain in Dallas on Monday night. They beat Croatia by 2-1.
Incredible, just incredible. 2 icons embracing on the centre of the pitch. Ronaldo, his last dance, gets another chance for Luka Modric, a Croatian icon, a footballing icon. The road ends here. It may well be the last time we see him at a major tournament in a Croatian shirt. But that game had everything, absolutely everything. These knockout stages delivering once again. Gonzalo Ramos with the winner in stoppage time. Josko Gvardiol thought he'd kept Croatia alive right to the death, but VAR had the final say. There are Croatian tears on the pitch. A sensational set of circumstances. Luke Chambers, a crazy end to that game. An absolute heartbreak for the Croatians after that disallowed goal.
Oh, absolute heartbreak, Ollie. What a game. Honestly, mate, you couldn't have summed it up any better. The amount of chances in the second half, the way both teams absolutely went after it. You've got 15 shots for Portugal, 13 shots for Croatia, 22 touches in the opposition box for Croatia, and they still didn't win the game. But the way Portugal responded, having gone 1-0 down, was brilliant, because Croatia just looked like they were going to take the game away from them. But what a climax. We've had woodworks hit, we've had 4 disallowed goals. It's been absolutely incredible.
A Portuguese flag surfing across a sea of red and green shirts. They move on to the round of 16. And Luke, Cristiano Ronaldo's international career rolls on. He played his part in the game with that penalty kick to get Portugal level. We thought, though, we might have seen the last of him in a Portugal shirt. He was subbed in the 81st minute. Do you feel that it was the right call? It was a brave and bold one from Roberto Martinez.
Well, they certainly got the result they wanted, didn't they, Ollie? And I think his reaction said it. Yes, he was disappointed, but there was no more celebrations from anyone else other than him when they did get that second goal. So listen, he has the opportunity to go again. He'll certainly start the next game. He had a real good impact. There was no real negative to his performance tonight. I think it was just a decision that he respects from his manager. Yes, he probably didn't like it, but no striker wants to come off the pitch. But credit to the team, they responded, and with the substitutions that Roberto Martinez made, he's won them the game with that.
We've got to talk about